All right. Hold on. I should be live. Looks like I am. Mic's on. Okay, mic's on. Pop out chat. Privacy, public. Okay. Let's get everything set up here, guys. 1 second. All right. Oops. Okay. All right, looks like we're good. Ooh, that's not good. All right, had to fix my mic there, but ooh, that was not good. All right, so we're told the notepad as always, guys. Notepad on the go. Here we go. Everything's situated. It's been resolved. It's not even a conversation. Oh. All right. All right. Developer stream. Feb 5th. Let's see. Yo, how's it going? I'm gonna mispronounce your name, man. Is it Rana Itch? I'm so sorry, dude. How you doing? Turn down the music on my end here. It's kind of loud in my ears. All right. All right, guys. So today, what we're going to be doing, as always on every Friday, we'll be covering the dev stream. And we'll be kind of taking some notes, seeing what's going to be talked about. Obviously, big questions. Big questions. Fine. Just say, Rana, I'm good yourself. I'm all right, man. Just hanging out. Just getting ready here, trying to figure out what kind of stuff that I would hope to see covered. Mega level threat. Level threat news. Patch news for Hawkeye.
Hello,
all right,
everyone.
Looks like we're good.
Hello, everybody.
How is it going? How's it going, you guys?
All right, I think audio should be good. Yeah, audio should be good now.
I had coffee today, so I should be okay.
For Hawkeye,
I also have coffee
let's see.
in front of me, just in case.
Let's see.
Andy's trying to wake up, guys.
I am. It's been a very busy week for us all.
It's been a
cool.
busy
All right,
week.
getting,
Ooh.
Hellos in there. Nice hat. I know, right? There's a little A on it. I wonder why. All right, so welcome again. This is our weekly, semi-weekly, but trying to be weekly. Play with the dev stream. We do this almost every Friday, and if we don't, then we usually tell people on Discord. But you know, if you just follow us on Crystal Dynamics, you'll get a notification of when we go live. So today,
any
we are
news?
going to be playing with some players.
Any news?
We have a
Nothing.
few people
Probably
lined
nothing.
up.
Probably
If
nothing.
you want to play with us, go ahead and add Phil as a friend on PSN. Phil, can you remind us what your
I have to
PSN
keep a track
is?
of the
My
chat.
PSN is virtual madness _ I'll put it in chat.
One of the things we'll have to keep an eye on here is the chat and see if there's any, because they'll try and answer some
That's
questions
how we do things now. That's how we.
in
He
here.
wants to be your friend. He wants more friends, and that's the only reason why we.
So we'll have to definitely see what we got going on in here.
Much.
That and your account is somehow cursed.
Oh, let's not talk about that. That's okay.
Hawkeye's DLC coming to
just won't talk
16th.
about it
So
after.
the deep dive is coming to 16th. They've not talked about a release date yet.
Some even
I
came
would assume
saying
on the
they would
16th we're
support
gonna
it
get that
eventually.
release date.
Oh.
Revealing too much.
I
so
personally
not
think
true.
that
I know
Hawkeye
it's
will
mean.
launch the 23rd.
Well, you guys
Personally,
just opening this and roasting each other.
I'm trying to get Andy's blood pumping a little bit so we can wake him up.
I think he's coming to
I just got
23rd.
down a whole bunch of coffee.
So the reason why I think he's coming to 23rd, let me just.
Okay, so before that, we're gonna do our little
Oh.
housekeeping
Oh.
information thing.
Oh,
Right now, I'm gonna actually switch screens.
ooh, hold on. I'll explain why I think the 23rd after.
to This one, I like the screen a lot because we have our weekly.
Okay, wait, never mind. So the reason I think the 23rd is because the deep dive is gonna be on the 16th, and then they still have to do a combat stream.
You guys need a reminder? Clint War Table Deep Dive. I say Clint Hawkeye War Table Deep Dive, February 16th.
Mm.
It's gonna be a direct video upload, so it's not gonna be live streamed. We're just gonna publish it across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So be the lookout on that. I'm gonna give you guys an exact time
Oh,
next week.
okay.
But it shouldn't be anything crazy. I mean, at this point, we all kind of post it at the same time.
It's like the morning. I think they posted in the morning,
that.
like 9 a.m. my time.
Last week, we kind of teased a little bit of Hawkeye's arrows. We said Pulsar arrows that can stick to surfaces. We said Tripwire arrows that moves enemies back when it comes into 3.
Anything
And
else?
I'm going to tell you one more arrow
Ooh.
today, just as a little teaser.
Ooh.
And I'm doing this because I think last week I saw a lot of people in chat asking if there was a
Okay.
specific arrow type that Hawkeye or Clint can use. And I'm not going to show anything, but yes, he does have boomerang arrows, everyone.
Oh,
He does have
boomerang arrows, okay.
How that works? Confirmed. How that works, we'll leave it to the war table, but you can kind of, you can kind of figure it out.
Well,
It
so-
is tied to something else, though, so, I don't
Oh.
want to give too much away, just like there's something else with the Pulsar arrows, there's something else with the Tripwire arrows, the boomerang arrows do operate
Lewis, what's
slightly
up?
differently
Just
than
finished
the
watching
boomerang.
WandaVision? Oh, man.
So,
No spoilers, but
that's
crazy,
good to whet your
right?
appetite. Other than that,
News on the 16th?
we
Yes,
actually
Jedi.
have a
Oh, hold on.
developer blog coming next week.
Developer blog.
From Tor
Next
and
week.
Oscar on our team.
Tor
that's gonna be
and
talking about the
Oscar.
Wasteland more, about what it was like building the Wasteland, the inspiration behind
Wow.
it, because it is a new environment and it is a new.
WandaVision was crazy? Oh, for real.
Show you guys more screenshots of it, just different angles and just how we were inspired to create this new environment that you guys are going to be able to play in once Clint comes out.
Wow,
So keep an eye
okay.
out for that on the social channels. I'm really excited for that because I love when members of the dev team get to show how passionate they
Yeah.
are about what they make. I'm sure that's what Phil loves doing. That's why he's here.
Yeah.
Just moving my
So,
webcam
yeah,
for you guys so you can follow
Wasteland
along with my
developer
notes.
blog, how it was made, coming out next week. And then, did someone just say? Oh, Tony just said hi to me in game. And last, there is a new Iron Man outfit coming out. As
Iron
early
Man
as
outfit
next week. Could be later.
Can I
coming
can I
as
give a spoiler?
early as next week. Is it
I'm gonna give a
MCU?
Spoiler. I don't care. I'm gonna get in trouble.
It might be MCU. Hold on.
He has a cape.
He has a cape?
Take that as you will, guys. But it is a new one that's coming. I think it looks pretty cool. Hopefully you
It
guys
is
do
badass.
too. Hopefully
Wait,
you
he has a
guys, yeah,
cape?
it's pretty cool. But everyone has their own opinions on what outfits work best and which ones they like best. So it's gonna be, look out for it as early as next week. It might not be, you know, next week, but it's something that's.
Is it Infamous Iron Man? Interesting.
I know. I'm just trying to.
Carrot, what's
manage
going
everyone's
on?
Expectations.
An Iron Man cape?
I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's really
to,
interesting.
Hype everybody about, you know.
As we should.
Iron
Huh.
As, yeah, I mean that skin is super awesome. You guys are gonna love it. Yeah, it depends on the patch, but
Oh,
soon it
patch.
will be in your hands.
Depends on the patch.
And we're not showing it here. I think you guys should just.
So
read it.
patch could be as early as next week.
Yeah, and I don't.
Doom Iron Man? That's the only one I could think.
Put it on and accidentally leak it because I would. I need to work on that actually. To get that.
Is my
I'm good.
phone-
I'm glad I could
stream
finally catch a
okay?
dev stream. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And in a lot of cases, the dev stream really kind of teeters off very quickly after this kind of opening.
Am I still good, you guys? Is my stream still okay?
Once you kind of get past this opening part,
You,
It
you're
kinda
having
just
an
kind
existential
of
crisis
I
mid-stream?
might be. I'm good.
dies out a little
Okay.
bit here. Only Iron Man costume I can think of with the
Okay,
Caves Victors. That's the only one I can think
looking at,
of.
like, the stream on like my other screen, and it's just like kind of it just went somewhere else, and I'm like, huh.
Honestly, I don't care about the outcome of Wanda as long as Wanda goes full battle to powers. I'm happy where the outcome is. I think you're gonna be very happy.
Oh,
Very
Lola?
happy, Lewis.
hi,
Hi.
Lola.
Why yes, we did.
So
Because
interesting.
it's existential.
So for guys just coming in now, we have a developer blog next week with Tor and Oscar. They're gonna be talking about the Wasteland area, so the biome, screenshots. Oh,
Wait, I wanted to shout out the people in the photos.
Go
that people
for it.
are seeing.
okay. Screenshots, more angles of it. New Iron Man outfit coming as early as next week. Once again, he has a cape, so it could be Infamous Iron Man, and then that depends on the patch. So a patch could be as early as next week itself. Really interesting.
So every week we feature some community photos.
I can say it for sure. It's
in
still
the-
cool to catch one for
in
the
the
first time in a
weekly
while. Oh, I feel you.
and
I feel you.
just think this is a good time to just spotlight them.
I feel you.
And additionally, so this one right
Yeah.
now,
So
I think, Layla-
shoot him late. Thank you so much for the catch up, brother. No worries, man. No worries, dude. I got you. I got you. Yeah. So could be lots of cool stuff next week, man. Infamous Iron Man could be a lot of fun. That's a really good costume. And if that's the one that's coming, like Iron Man with a cape. Iron Man with a cape. Like, what else do we have? What else do we have, guys? Images. Iron Man in, what is this? Oh, it's someone's painting? It has to be Infamous Iron Man. Yeah, there's no other one. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right.
115.
The Silver Centurion skin was so awesome to see. I just want more comic book reference style skins. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a good one next week. They could do something
And this
new.
one's by Joe Blubberg again.
They could. They could. I
Yeah, so thank you guys.
I don't know though. Would they really tease like a normal?
Spicing up our weekly vlogs as well.
Oh,
So
spicing up weekly blogs, eh? Okay.
how's everyone doing?
Doctor Strange Iron Man from concept art for Infinity War. I'll have to look that up. Like maybe it's a new design, but I doubt it. I don't think it's a new design. It's an iconic reskin with a cape. I hope not. There's an alternate timeline story where Tony is the Sorcerer Supreme. Really?
No, Brown Bull, I don't have an update on Omega Threats today.
No update.
Working to try to get
On-
you guys an update as soon as possible.
Omega threats. Sad face. Ah, that sucks.
I'm doing great.
And he doesn't know yet, but I'm gonna ask to write a blog for some of the Omega Threat stuff.
Oh,
No.
You guys know what we have, what's coming. You don't get a say. I'm just gonna ask
Potential-
the boss, it's
potential
fine.
blog.
Who do you work for?
Crystal Dynamics.
Omega level threat stuff.
I know Crystal Dynamics.
Phil
Do you?
Tease.
I know them.
Here we go.
well.
Is that something? You
Especially
know?
the Doctor Strange reference from the Avengers novel.
Oh,
That'd be
is this your
interesting.
Karen coming out?
That'd be
My
interesting.
what?
He's your manager, Andy.
The concept art does look
Karen, how
badass.
dare
I'll have to
you.
check it
How
out.
dare you?
I'm gonna be honest. I hope it's Infamous Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like I hope it's that one and not like something else. That's just me. Like I know people are probably gonna be. There's gonna be people that are happy either way. There's gonna be people that are not happy either way, and there's gonna be people who don't really give a fuck either way. But I actually hope it's Infamous Iron Man, to be honest. So I'm talking about WandaVision so much. I want to go for episode. Dude, you're good, man.
Well,
You're good.
chat. What's
I think their game's bugged, or
what else besides grass?
is their internet
Oh, wow,
broken?
the grass thing is still there. You know.
Seeing Doom would be so cool.
think
Oh, for
Tony
sure.
Chang made an amazing meme
For sure.
on Twitter, which was really funny, and I appreciated it.
For sure.
Someone Tony Bing photoshopped my head on a
I already feel like the street, like, why do I feel like people come, like a lot of people come, and even myself, like I'm not gonna lie, I come for like the information, and then once the information's kind of done, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know.
I'm gonna try and stay away from the what did we eat as a kid discussion, because I have a lot more going on there.
Yeah, no one wants to.
But no one wants to hear of it.
Grass.
So
But
Hey,
over
Almighty,
time, they
there's
will
an
they
air
will
dog.
answer some more stuff. So, have I read Infamous Iron? I've not read Infamous Iron Man. I've not. I am so behind on my comics, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am so behind on my comics. Yo, Super Rebel, what's up, brother?
Adaptive triggers, yes.
How you doing, man?
Absolutely, 100%.
No, to be honest, Carrot, I'm super behind on my comics.
Jon Snow is asking.
I'm gonna be
what are
pissed if
our
someone leaks
hobbies
something
and
for the
stuff?
show again. To be honest, yes, yes. I mean, the unfortunate thing is like, there's so much that has already leaked about the show, especially in the back half, and like in the last episode particular. There's already been some stuff. There was stuff that was like speculated, and then there was stuff that has seemingly is gonna fall into place a little bit. But that stuff is like really hard to like look for, you know. Ideally, you know, the rest of it you just kind of keep away from, you know, and you stay away from any place that discuss spoilers and leaks. You should check Infamous. It's pretty good, but it's very Bendis if you're not as right. I'm okay with Bendis. When Bendis was writing Guardians, I was pretty okay with him. So in terms of like Michael Bendis, I don't mind him particularly. I don't really hate any comic writers. Like I don't think of a comic writer and I'm like, wow, I fucking hate their writing. So Bendis is like okay with me. I know a lot of people don't like him.
Small collection of Magic the Gathering cards.
It's like the same thing with like Dan Slott,
Do not have the
you know.
power.
Dan Slott, like people don't like Dan Slott, but like Dan Slott's Spider-Man stuff was like, for me, that was like really amazing. Like Nick Spencer now is good. I appreciate what Nick Spencer brings. But Dan Slott, when I was like first getting into comics, like whatever he like brought to the table, I was like all for, you know.
I actually love Magic the Gathering.
It's not Caged at all. Hi, Cello. Yo, what's up, Caged? I haven't read comics in so long. It's so tough, man. There's so much you got to like keep up with, and like so much you got to like stay on top of sometimes, that comic reading can be like very daunting unless you stick to like one or two and you just don't care about anything else, you know. I watch the show as eat my breakfast so I don't get spoilers. That's probably the best way to do it, Jason.
Oh, you guys failed to join us.
I'm 50-50 on Bendis. When he hits his writing is amazing, in my opinion, but when he messes it can be pretty bad. I just think Slott's a better collection of comics. The one thing I didn't like about Slott was his Silver Surfer. It was too Doctor Who for me. But that's the only thing. Jonathan Hickman is godlike, definitely the best writer in my opinion for Marvel and whatever else he does. Yeah, I really like Hickman. The one thing I haven't read though is his X-Men stuff. Like I've heard his X-Men stuff is pretty good. I just haven't read any X-Men in like forever. 50 out of 150.
I think I saw a question about does Clint have his classic skin? Wait and see.
Oh. Does Clint
Sorry, guys. I'll
have
send
his
out the
classic
rounds
skin?
of the fight.
Wait and see. So that's pretty much a confirmation, guys. If anyone was looking for Clint classic skin, it's pretty much confirmed. So
Or
I
we
think
can
that
talk about
means
Marvel's Avengers,
bald,
you know?
Or
Okay.
we could talk about more.
old man, Hawkeye, classic,
You guys could answer the
um,
question.
There you go. That's one for you
Andy,
guys.
you made me answer.
casual.
Can
What
we-
are your
can we-
hobbies? Do you like eating? Do you like breathing?
What else am I missing? Bald, old man Hawkeye, classic, casual. I think the casual is from the Fraction run. Ronin. I think Ronin. Ronan's probably gonna be in. I'll put a question mark beside Ronin. Slot is such a huge Doctor Who fan. I adore Hickman, but I couldn't afford to keep his X-Men run because when COVID hit, I lost my job. Oh, shit, Carrot. I'm sorry, man. That's the case for a lot of people, man. It's the case for me. It sucks. Put me in charge of Marvel's Avengers. I'll make it better. Starting with making the game function under one currency. What do you mean under one currency? My question I've been asking forever. And there's your answer. Are you guys working on Black Panther? Martin, I'm not a developer. I'm just a fan who covers the game, man. But they are working on Black Panther. Black Panther is being worked on. There has been some data mining and some leaks in regards to Black Panther, and Black Panther seemingly will be the next one after Hawkeye. Seemingly.
So, just letting you guys know.
I think Ronin might be an inspired skin,
hobbies?
probably. Yeah, probably.
Well, I like gaming.
It's possible.
I like eating also, especially sweet things. I have a sweet tooth.
I think T'Challa will come after Spider-Man.
Writing.
I still don't like you, John Cage. I know you like me, buddy. Don't worry, dude.
And I like joining.
Here's the thing, Carrot. The thing is like,
I got matzo balls.
there's not really been a lot of, so as from what I know, is that there's not really been a lot of Spider-Man data in the files. But there's been Black Panther stuff in the files. And personally, here's what I personally think. I personally think that the playtest stuff that's going on in the next few weeks, I know there's playtesters that are starting up in the next few weeks, probably the week of the 16th. And then there's more playtest stuff starting the first week of March. I think this is going to be Black Panther stuff that they're testing. Ideally for a mid to late April drop for Black Panther. But as far as I know, there's not been a lot of Spider-Man stuff in the files. I could be wrong, though. Were they planning on dropping him prior to Kate Bishop originally? That's the greatest question, man. And that's like what we don't know. We don't know because they were so ready to talk about him before Chadwick's passing, right? So where does he fit in? Like, where was he originally supposed to fit in? Were they talking about him to hype it up and still going to put him off? I mean, like, that's the question. There's a teaser for Black Panther and a teaser I think will be coming. So, yeah, they originally wanted to talk about him in September, before like everything went sideways. They originally wanted to talk about him. People are very patient about Spider-Man exclusive though, so they might take priority as a result. But I see where you're coming from. It totally depends on what Sony's contract says, right? Because if Sony paid for him to come at a certain time, right? Wasn't there like talk, like there was like the rumor of January, and now it's like early 2021. You know what I mean? Like, it totally depends on what the contract with Sony says. Because I mean, at the end of the day, they paid for him, right? I'm excited for Hawkeye, but I can't wait for Doctor Strange. The leaks are real, especially his Mystic Art should be crazy looking in the game. Yeah, Doctor Strange should be one of the coolest ones to play. Ideally, I mean, with all the crazy stuff Doctor Strange can do, you would think that he will be like visually the most impressive. So what was the timeline originally? Who knows, man? Who knows? Like, who knows? Wonder if it affected the narrative heavily. Maybe. Honestly, I don't think they're going to drop him that early. I think we're just going to build hype for this child in September. I honestly think, if I'm going to be completely honest, I think everything's been pushed back like 2 months. I think by pushing everything back 2 months, it probably seems right. I think if you give an idea of like everything that's been pushed back 2 months, because wasn't there like, once again, wasn't there talk of like the next gen version coming in like the holiday season? So like if you think about it, if we're getting next gen version in like February, like isn't that like 2 months? Like I think everything's been pushed back 2 months.
That's actually what most people are spending their time on right now. We have that as a high priority.
I agree. It's about 2-3 months push. Yeah, I think that's probably like a safe bet, to be honest. I think it's a safe bet.
Waiting.
I hope heroes come with different sets of enemies. Wakanda themed enemies, Mr. Enemies would be so cool. Okay, so here's what I know, and like a lot of this information, I am gonna link back to Miller. So if you guys aren't familiar with Miller,
It's not that it takes 5 months to produce a roadmap. It's that we're trying to get an agreement on all the content, and
Hold
when
on.
the content is going to come out. So it's
Doesn't
taking a lot longer than we
take
would have liked,
5
but
months to.
It's mostly an approval process thing rather than a put it together thing.
Oh, that does not sound good to me. It's coming to an agreement on the content. It's an approval thing. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So a lot of the stuff that
Almighty Drew, yes, but it's not all going to be there at the same time. So
Almighty Drew.
yes and no is about that.
Where is that? Oh, Almighty Drew. Will this new Wasteland biome have new missions /
Are you
objectives?
all going
Okay.
back to the offices soon? We don't know. Probably not anytime soon.
Sorry. Yeah, so as far as I know, we're going to be fighting AIM in Black Panther's DLC as well because of what's been data mined. So I know everyone kind of hates robots, and I know Phil was asking for stuff on non-robot enemies last week, but I wouldn't expect non-robots anytime soon.
More NPCs in the game, that would be awesome.
It's going to be robots for the next few months, guys.
And actually, there will be in some of the content.
Yeah.
I agree that everything was pushed. Hate to scare everyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if the gamer sees 4 characters a year.
I know somebody's asking for new vaults. I'm not sure right now. I'll look into it, but right now, not short term at least.
Short-term vaults. I'd say it's probably like 5 to 6, man. 5 to 6 characters a year. Is it possible for you guys to increase Hulk jump height? Andy, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not a developer, bro. I'm just a fan that covers the game, man. I'm sorry if the channel name kind of the channel name kind of fucks you up a little bit there. That's my fault, man. We have to get animated. This game will be game changing. Nobody can do what he do. Shrink it down, twisting legs, wrecking stuff. Yep, I agree. I agree, Shane. Well, I mean, I don't think they need to focus on this character to make more enemies and missions. I think it's like a twofold thing, man. Everyone wants new characters and everyone wants like new stuff to do, right? So the question is like, how do you prioritize all of that? And like that's the thing, right? Like how do you prioritize one over the other and really make it work? I love robots. At least the enemies have no problem with the amount of robots. It's fair enough, Carrot.
Let's see if we can start our mission.
Hate the robots. Yikes. My girlfriend said this game is dumb and she wants to play as K and want me to join her as Clint, but no.
And then
Well, soon, Donnie. Soon, right? Plus, we can watch Avengers dismember its enemies. The characters are all unique and have great combos. Nobody complains. To be honest, at least I don't think so. I mean, that's the one thing they do really well, right? Is the combat, right? It's just now they have to get everything else up to par.
That's a good one.
And that's the thing that they have to kind of nail down, right? Is getting everything else up to par. And to be fair, like, you know, the storylines, the story stuff in that regards is good. It's just everything multiplayer is like fallen at the wayside there, you know.
Okay.
You said, why did they release both at the same time? Because we would have been waiting how many more months now for Kate, unfortunately, right? It sucks, man. I get what she's saying. But yeah, it's not ideal. I feel like one character every season, at least more, but keep my expectations low. And yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man. If they had a good gameplay loop and like everyone was having fun playing the game as is, you know what I mean? Like you were able to kind of just play the game and do everything. Would people necessarily be calling for characters as often as they are? Maybe not, man, because people might be satisfied with just logging on and playing as is. And if a new character came out every 4 months, people would be like, "Oh, sick." But because like there's nothing to do in a lot of the game, right? If you're an end game player looking to kind of play end game stuff, there's not really a lot there. So like, what do you have left? Well, it's just like, oh, just give me another character to play at that point, you know? It's tough, man. It's tough.
Short answer.
Hope everyone's a great weekend. TGIF. Yo, Donnie, thanks, man. You too. Hope you're having a great week, or I was gonna say great weekend, but great Friday. Hope everyone here is having a great Friday so far.
Backflip and throw tomahawks from Spetsnaz, right?
Hope you guys, if anyone here is watching, it's Super Bowl this weekend, right? So Super Bowl this weekend. Hope you guys are gonna have some fun.
Like the angle or the sound?
Hey Peter, yeah, I'll show it once we get in. Just want to make sure we get in.
The worst part is like how long it takes them to get in. This is brutal. Spider-Man release date? Nothing has been said about Spider-Man. Nothing has been said about Spider-Man. I'm speculating Spider-Man for like a June release date. I'm thinking for Black Panther. I think Black Panther comes out first, and I'm thinking Black Panther in mid to late April, and then I think Spider-Man will come June to July. But I think Spider-Man will launch alongside another hero, because if they release Spider-Man just by itself for PlayStation users, Xbox and PC people are going to be very upset.
We are in a game, though.
Very upset.
Is the sound echoing for anyone?
I personally do really love the gameplay loop. I'm known the minority, but I don't mind the repetitive missions since the gameplay is so fun and polished. Well, here's the thing, man. I think like if you look at the gameplay loop itself and you're playing as your character, you're leveling up, you're getting new items, right? Like, I think the basics are there, but I think when you have to refine it a little bit more, and then there's not really a true kind of end game activity yet. Right, like it's like the basics are there, but like the flair and everything else is just not in the actual game yet. And that's really like all they need, right? They need like these end game activities to really kind of cap off your grind. And until they give you those end game activities to cap off your grind, it's just like it's a repeat of a grind. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it's not that I don't disagree with you. It's just that there's no real capping off the end point, which is kind of really what they need.
Any of our Avengers streamers, who was the last streamer you watched? And whose streams do you like to hang out in? I know Flavius is here.
Let's put the bet on Spidey versus Panther drop. I really think it's Panther versus it's Panther then Spidey. Oh, 5 of them. Rebel Semi, can you send the list like last week, Mr. Death? Shut up, Caged. They need more missions like iconic ones? Well, yeah. I think those would help too.
Or if any of you guys who has actually streamed this game themselves?
Is Spider-Man's exclusive for PlayStation? Will Xbox have an exclusive as well? Probably not, because I don't think Microsoft would care to pay for an exclusive in a game. So you got to look at the strategies behind like PlayStation versus Microsoft, right? So PlayStation is all about, for the most part, for paying for things that kind of make you want to play the game on their platform, right? So think of like a Call of Duty, for example, or if you guys remember Destiny 2 or Destiny 1, right? You had like missions and rewards that were tied to PlayStation, right? Xbox just seemingly has a different strategy about how they kind of get you on their platform. So I don't necessarily think they would ever pay for a character. No. Game can definitely see improvement, open to change for the game, but I'm cool with it as is. I feel you, Carrot. I feel you, Carrot. It's all good, man.
There's some exciting stuff coming in the near future for harm rooms.
Oh, hold on. Exciting stuff.
Based on your question, I think you're gonna like what's coming out.
Coming to harm room in the near future.
That's cool, Warren. I'm glad you're getting some good traffic. That's awesome.
I'm just scared everyone has already given up on the game. It's the way that these games go, man. Like, for as much like singular hate as Avengers gets, like the thing about games as a service and these kind of games is like when there's a content drought, people kind of move away from it, and when content comes back, people come back. It's just like the problem with this game in particular is they need to find a way to keep the people that come back, right? So it's like it's okay that people leave when there's no content because that's normal, right? But it's when these people come back, how many of those people do you retain for a longer period? And do those people stick around for a long period? Do those people buy into your cosmetics when they're stuck around, right? It's all about those questions that they got to answer. And we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
New photo mode features. I don't know.
I want these developers to assemble some endgame content, Nicholas. I feel you.
What are you hoping to get?
Yo, Emil, I pretty much just butchered your name, I think. Hello, how's it going? When is the War Table event for Hawkeye? February 16th. It's going to be a direct upload video. So last time Kate's was like at like 9 a.m. Eastern, I think. I've been trying to finish a big video review for the game. My thesis statement is fun out of 10. Love to see new harm room stuff. Yeah, same. Super Rebel upload video earlier based on your tweet about SC Financial saying wanted to making a profit. Is this true? So when we talk about, so I'd have to go back and look at exactly what it is. So we don't have specifics on Marvel Avengers, right? All we know is that year over year, their game division has made money, and they highlighted that Final Fantasy VII Remake and Marvel's Avengers were part of the game division that made money year over year. In any specifics about Marvel Avengers, all we have is the MPD data, which says that Marvel Avengers was the 11th best-selling game of 2020, and Final Fantasy VII Remake was the 10th best-selling game of 2020. Whether we get anything more granular than that, we'll have to wait and see. But all we know is that their game division has made money year over year, and they highlighted Avengers and Final Fantasy a part of that financial statement. I made sure to say, like, we don't know any more specifically about it. I don't know if he included that tweet, but I said, like, anything more granular, we may have to wait for fiscal year end because we just don't know any of the granular stuff. All we know is what they say.
In a better state, or rather the multiplayer needs to be more stable before we make that available.
Has anything worth a damn been said already? They're going to keep asking for favorite streamers. Everything here, man, is what they've said. Everything here this far is what they've said.
Issue right now, so just really we need to get that.
When do you think Hawkeye will be released? The 23rd.
Rejoining sessions, that's something we'd like to do. I don't know where that feature is at, but that's something they absolutely want to get in the future.
We'd
obviously.
like to do.
One.
Don't know
What do I work on?
where the
I work
feature
on most of the content
is
for
at.
the Avengers Initiative in
Okay.
some form or another.
Sorry to leave. Gotta go. Glad I caught another stream. Yo, Carrot, thanks a lot for hanging around, man. Appreciate you, dude. I'll catch you later. Just sub, bro. Yo, Brooks, appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's Dad Gamer's birthday today. Do you think we
I
can
hope on
celebrate?
February 16th they finally talk about AIM Secret Labs and Cloning Labs. So the Secret Labs and Cloning Labs are one and the same. They kind of changed the name around, but they're one and the same. They're not two different activities. They're just the labs in general. But I agree that I hope they talk about them soon. Sooner better than the later.
Love to get them. They're a little bit expensive to make, but I know the team working on Heroes would like to add some. I don't know if there's more coming.
I really need
soon,
Black
though,
Panther to
but
release
I know
already.
something they
Same.
would love to add.
I really got ahead of and get some sleep and everyone. Yo,
yes,
Rana,
there's
have a
more
great night,
missions
man.
coming, absolutely.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Different types of them too. So
More missions coming. More types of them. Can we get a clarification on that? Clarification. I knew I wasn't the only one who
Okay,
thought different.
Ball, I mean, everybody knows there's still bugs in the game. Nobody's trying to hide from that. It doesn't make us any happier than it.
I want A-Man as well, but that's got to be next year. That's going to be next year. Yeah.
And add more content. And
So what it looks like this year, guys. Now, this is like kind of up in the air regarding like how everything goes, right? Obviously, like so many things are so fluid, but this year it kind of looks like it'll be based on what's in the files already. And once again, I reference Miller for a lot of this stuff. Him and I have conversations, but it looks like this year we'll have BP, Spidey, She-Hulk, Winter Soldier, and possibly Carol. And this isn't including Hawkeye, which obviously is coming soon. Thanks for clarifying. I feel like CD after Hawkeye drops should focus on 1, bug fixes, 2, adding more game modes, 3, new game plus before they release Black Panther.
I don't know if we're even allowed to do that. I would have to ask.
I think it's just a matter of
We
them
have, like,
trying
an
to
art
like.
style for the game, right? So
It's like literally like
different.
the whack-a-mole kind of game, right? They're trying to whack as many moles as they can, but they just keep popping back up. And I think it's a matter of like they got to figure out what their priorities are. I agree that like they need to release all that stuff, but like what's the order that they release it in, right? And depending on who you ask, that order changes. But I think bug fixes and new content are definitely like 1 and 2.
We code in English, old drunk guy, and no, I haven't.
I like that
So
one
you're
that
the second
we may
person
be
to
finally
mention
getting a
that this
roadmap.
week,
The
so
roadmap
maybe it's
will
fine.
come. It seems like the roadmap is stuck in the approval process right now. The one thing I don't like about the approval process is like that means they've gone back and they've had to like retool what they plan out for the next year. You would think that like releasing a game like this, you have everything kind of planned, ready to go, locked in, loaded kind of situation. And obviously because of everything that's happened over the last like 5 months, you know, the bugs, COVID, whatever else, right? They've had to like go back and kind of reassess everything.
I can't go into a lot of details because we will eventually, but that's part of, you know,
Hold on.
Loot 2.0.
Oh, okay.
progression.
One of the things that I don't like is that if everything's in an approval stage now, like, are we getting less than what we were originally supposed to get? Scary. Will the PS5 version still have the loading screen when traveling? Ooh, good question.
And, like, there's other devs that are just dying to come tell you guys about what they're working on.
I don't know.
They're all excited about
I don't know.
big improvements to the game, so it's, trust me, we want to talk about it.
Did you hear Avengers under the profitable list? Yeah, I'm the one who put that tweet out. Brooks. Once again, we don't know the granular specifics about, like, really, like, any of the money that it's, if it's like how much money it's made granular specifically. But what we do know is that they highlighted Final Fantasy VII and Avengers in their financial statement or whatever they call it, and it was in the part where they talk about, like, how much money they made year over year. So yeah, specifically we don't know exactly the specifics that Avengers made, right? But the fact that they included it where they were talking about, like, them making, like, year over year profits is probably a good sign. Yeah. Will there be seasonal big bad villain story arcs? Like, one season will be a big build up to Thanos. I mean, obviously I can't speak to, like, future plans because I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's being planned other than kind of stuff that's been data mined or leaked or whatever.
We don't want to release something and then change our dates. So it's a mix between making sure the dev team is committing to the dates, which basically includes us sitting down with the developers and making sure that they're comfortable with the release dates. Then there's all the organization, business, marketing side of things that we need to go through. So it's a lot more complicated than just, you know, us deciding to talk about it. So the next time that we actually show a roadmap, and I say next time, and like we have already, but when we do show the roadmap, it'll be because it's something that we believe in. I think more than likely we'll try to avoid very specific dates, and it'll probably be like a chronological order of things.
Yeah.
My at least.
Yeah. So the roadmap won't have, like, dates on it. It'll just be like, here's what we want to release in order. When is Hawkeye coming out? So we don't know yet, but I'm theorizing the 23rd of February. Why is Marvel's Avengers not an open world game? I mean, that's a design decision, man. To be on a wall at Crystal Dynamics when they were discussing that would have been great. You asked, man, he'll kick the New Game Plus out and only focus on new modes and gear. I just asked Phil, so that's mean Hawkeye will be releasing without MP content due to the NAT issue still? And he said yes, it'll be MP. Yeah, so...
Talk about unreleased heroes. I give you points for that.
So the NAT issues and all sorts of stuff like that is related to the longer term missions, the stuff like a Cloney Labs or like an Omega level threat maybe. Anything that's still normal, like the stuff they're playing right here, a drop zone, an assault one or whatever, like those stuff isn't really affected in the same way, simply because, like, they're pretty quick. Right now, if you probably sit there and you hold your space and you don't move anything, is it possible those multiplayer bugs pop up? Yeah, probably. But if you just kind of play the mission as is and you go through it quickly, the bugs don't seemingly pop up. It's those longer term missions where stuff like that will kind of pop up. My biggest fear of the current state of the game is feel like it would piss the remaining players off. Someone releasing Black Panther Excalibur in this current state of the game. Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully with Black Panther being a few months off, you know, they have stuff kind of locked and loaded beforehand.
On any missions where there's a timer.
And you know, they kind of keep things chugging along, that when Black Panther releases, including a raid and all this other stuff, that the game's in a better state, you know. Sort of be dumb, but what's a roadmap? No, it's cool, man. It's a good question. A roadmap is kind of just like a general sense. It could be very general in terms of like a chronological order of things that they want to release, or you can get very specific on like the days and the months and whatever else of what you want to release. It's just basically like a look to the future. I hope we get a Justice League game like this multiplayer wise. Well, you got the Suicide Squad one, right? That's going to be pretty... It's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be like too similar, but it's going to be a game as a service. You're just not going to play the Justice League. You're just going to kill the Justice League, I guess.
John is asking if we have any favorite novels or book genres. Andy?
Am I the only one struggling to power up my character? Stop playing because you play this thing over and over again. My characters don't power up that fast. Maybe I'm a noob. No, I mean, like, I get it. I get it. It unfortunately, it's like part of the genre a little bit. It sounds like a lot of the stuff they want to release, the Omega level threats, the Cloney Labs, that will be endgame stuff, which means the stuff that you're currently playing right now will be stuff that you'll have to go through multiple times. And that's just, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way these things go, right? But I do understand like the struggle to kind of do the same thing like maybe 6 times, 7 times, right? So the answer to all of our questions is soon. Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately. Is Hawkeye coming out in February? I think so, but we don't know yet. We won't know until the 16th for sure. Definitely the leveling up is so long and boring. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's the unfortunate thing about doing a game like this and you do like multiple characters is like you're gonna have to do like a lot of the same stuff multiple times, right? And it's just kind of, it's unfortunate for a lot of people, you know, because it is what it is, right? I get it, because like even not all my characters are leveled up, right? Like I have a Cap that's leveled up, a Black Widow that's leveled up, a Hulk that's leveled up, and you know I'm still struggling to find like the motivation to do like my Thor or my Iron Man or my Miss Marvel. Well, I have a Kate that's leveled up too, but like other than that, you know. What is the status on Spider-Man? TBD, to be determined. Don't know. WandaVision coming soon to Marvel's Avengers. Can't wait. I wish. I wouldn't hold your breath for this year. Will the loot system completely change? Like loot changing our characters look cosmetically as well as power level wise? So I don't think so. Yeah, once again, I don't know more than what you guys know, but they have said that like loot, they don't want loot to kind of affect the visual prowess of their your character, right? So they don't want to make you spend money on a costume and then you equip the loot piece and then it affects the costume that you bought, right? Because then you're really kind of messing with the money that someone spent on that costume, right? So I would say that loot is going to change. We don't know how it's going to change, but we know there are changes coming. But we don't know when, where, or how. But what we do know is that loot cosmetically is not going to change. Bro, how am I supposed to spend my TTS points if you're on YouTube? I don't know, Rogue. I don't know, man. Are you a dev in disguise? Dude, I wish. I wish. I'd be getting paid right now. If I could get paid for this, Brooks. Oh, I wish, man. Everyone but Hulk could throw at 130 or above for me. I don't like the fly mechanics overall, so no Tony. I understand that.
Yes, everyone. I have the Final Fantasy VII Remake theme on my PS4.
That's a good choice.
I thought so
No
too.
content in a Marvel Avengers game. Stanley is rolling over his vibranium
like
coffin.
My second favorite thing to do other than hanging out with you guys.
I wish we had Expedition. One character I wish we have is Wolverine. Wolverine would be pretty cool.
You'll notice he's more awake now, though. That's
Wolverine would be pretty cool.
He's too cool for exotics. Yeah, it's like...
It'd be awesome to have a Doctor Doom season, an Ultron season, a Thanos season. What do you think? I think they've said that they want to stick away from Thanos simply because like the MCU kind of like did Thanos. So maybe I wouldn't mind fighting Thanos. I just don't think we'll get Thanos. Doctor Doom would be pretty cool. Stay tuned for next week. It looks like you may get a Doctor Doom Iron Man costume next week. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. But could be one there. Ultron? Yes, it sounds like Ultron will be coming to the game eventually. What's the status on the roadmap? In approval. They're trying to get everything approved.
Okay.
If they want gear to
Destiny
affect your
Dad,
skin,
what's
they
your
should have put
PSN?
in layered armor option. I mean, yes, but it sounds like it's just something that they didn't even want to like touch with. You know, it just sounds like they wanted to keep those two systems separate. I don't know if they'll ever kind of try to merge them together or kind of do like the hand holding between like your loot cosmetically and Rogue, shut up, and costumes. But I mean, I don't know if I'd rule it out for the future. I just personally don't think it'd ever be coming. Oh. Give dialogue.
I see you online, Destiny. Yeah. You can just send me an invite.
Give dialogue,
and I'll
move
jump in
on.
there just 'cause
Next
we know
gen.
from the past that every time I invite someone, then it just doesn't work correctly.
This game is the worst game, man. I mean, I've played worse. It's definitely not in a great state, but I think I've played worse. Long hair for girls when? It'd be interesting for that to come soon.
Look at my exotics though.
Are getting new games like World War Hog where everyone talks all to save New York? I don't think so.
I'm not like a.
I don't think so.
Any
Um, but I would like to see like a horde mode, you know,
pros in
like to see a horde mode come to the game. That'd be kind of cool. I'm hoping for Red Guardian. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm a cat player.
What would you change about this game if you're on charge? What's the next chapter you'd add? Ooh. Great question, man. I think I've touched a little bit on kind of the changes I'd make overall. More so, like I would want to change like the gear system, reward system, stuff like that. I don't know if I'd add anything in terms of story. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I think if I was in charge, I would just do I would just focus on like building the foundation of the game better, and then letting them go, and just kind of doing whatever at that point. But I think you got to like really kind of nail down a foundation of the game that kind of sticks to like a property of like, this is your gameplay loop, these are your rewards. Like I want players to be rewarded for the time spent in the game, which I feel at some points you just don't really get at this point. So yeah, I don't know what I would add. I just want to change things and tweak things and kind of just give a better multiplayer experience that the game is sort of lacking right now, What's stats on Loki and MCU skins? Jordan, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't know, man. Both things I want to see, though. So anyone who's just coming in, I'm not a dev man. I just kind of cover the game, so I'll try to answer your questions based on the knowledge I have. But there's lots of stuff that I don't know, and I'm waiting for answers like all you guys,
Cap's shield could be different with their costumes, but I don't know actually what is entailed in changing that.
Cap shield could be different,
But I can ask.
but I'm sure.
I would
Hold
love
on, guys.
to have an online. Absolutely, that's something I've been looking into.
Interesting. Sorry guys. I'm excited for Spider-Man to come to the game hopefully next month or end of this month. Matthew, I wouldn't hold your breath, man. I wouldn't hold your breath, brother. Quick game question. Pin payload or shield payload for Bishop's armor?
Ended up using a lot of it for the boss fights, like with Abomination and Taskmaster.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jason. I don't know. I'd have to see the rest of your build. If you want to tweet me,
Yeah, I would love to play on Steam. We just need to figure out.
if you want to tweet me, man, I can try to give you some advice. The problem is, man, in a lot of the cases, I don't really consider myself like an in-game build expert. I just kind of do things my own way, and sometimes it works, sometimes it looks awful and plays awful, but I can try my best, bro. What do you think about Red Hulk? Heard they had him as a villain. Lots of Hulks in the game. Classic, Maestro, Red, and She. I've heard Red Hulk's coming to the game as well. I've heard there's some stuff in the files on him. I mean, at this point, villains are villains. I'm not going to complain. At this point, like if they're going to throw villains in here, even if it's like a Red Hulk or a Maestro or whatever,
I do like the idea.
Just give me whatever.
A lot more critical things.
Just give me whatever I can get, right?
We look at doing fun stuff like that.
I had hope for this game, but it feels like it's too late to revive. Honestly, it seems like every mission's the same.
More Inhuman related story or character content. I would love to have more Inhuman stuff.
I would agree that a lot of it does feel repetitive. I don't think it's too late to save. So I would agree, but disagree as well. A lot of this game to live realistically because I want to play, but I don't want to waste my time. I've always said, Porco, that this year, 2021, is a guarantee, and then the performance of this year will dictate the performance of 2022. So I think you have 2021 safe. It's just if this game does well in 2021, you'll have 2022. But it's tough to say. It's really tough to say. What do you think about exhibition mode? Wait, what's exhibition mode? WWE 2K20 was way worse. I've heard that. If after the Hawkeye DLC, if I see nothing but robot enemies, I'm done with the game. Golden, I'm going to be honest with you, man. We're going to be fighting more than likely AIM in Black Panthers as well. It'll be a while before we get other villains. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up with chat here. You guys are going crazy. Crazy. Will heroes eventually die off in story? I would say no, because they don't want to mess with...
There's going to be improvements to inventory come in.
I would say no, because, like, how do you rectify that with, like, online play, right? So, like, I would probably say no, they won't. If the game ran as supposed to, it's a clear 7.5 out of 10 solid game, but shrug. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a fair number. Crafty system adds stats. I agree. Can anybody else see some Star Wars characters as Avengers? No, I mean, I don't know about that. What's up? What did I miss? Poppy, what's going on? How you doing? All the notes so far are right here on the right side. Everything that they've kind of said that's noteworthy.
Who do you prefer to play as, Kate or Hawkeye? Interesting question.
They said early 2020. Yeah, I think everything's been pushed back though, Matthew. And I think that's the problem, man, is everything's been pushed back. And to be honest, it totally depends on like what they've said to Sony and what Sony said back to them. It's possible Sony's dictated the release and said like it has to be at this point. But if Sony like agrees that like they can push it back, they'll probably push it back.
Depends on your own personal play style.
Your YouTube is popping more than your Twitch. Rebel helped you a lot. Yeah, the shout out by Rebel
Gaming, yes, we're
definitely
looking
helped.
into some pretty crazy places to go.
Hold on. Appreciate the love by Super Rebel today. Looking into some
Kate's
crazy
teleporting is
places
pretty
to go.
amazing. Clint has different ways of traversing.
Or April. Oh, I mean, it's so up in the air, man. Personally, a good idea would be a Thunderbolts game instead. That could be interesting. Just got here from Super Rebels Link. Any new news on Spider-Man? Unfortunately, Darth Nutsack. What a great name, bro. Unfortunately, we've got nothing on Spider-Man, bro. Status on Loki coming to the game. MC skins coming too. We don't know, Jordan. We can only say maybe.
Hawkeye does indeed use a bow.
Once again, guys, I don't know anything more than what you guys do. I shouldn't say that. I know a little bit more, but I tell everybody what I know. I'm very open with what I know about the game. I was just wondering because I'm running Gamma on her arrows. I don't know, man. Pim payload or shield? Like maybe Pim. Maybe Pim for the battery. If you're running Gamma. This game is dead, but I'm sorry, but it is. My game crashed too many times. It's okay. It's okay. Can we get some type of comic them stories tied into? Like a physical comic? That'd be interesting.
Destiny.
Sean, what's going on? Any villain's a good villain at this point. You might as well beat up the guy who shot Uncle Ben. Hey, why not? Hey, why not? If Spider-Man 3 could do it, why can't we?
Rumble, the dev team is dedicated to
Have I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yes, I've watched
so
every single episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
between the two, though the majority of the team is working.
Exhibitions like Cat vs. Hulk, just the characters battle. No, they've said they're not doing PvP, man. They're not doing PvP. It's coming to PS4 and PS5, right? Yeah, Spider-Man will be coming to PlayStation as a whole. So yeah, PS4, PS5, doesn't matter. You'll get Spider-Man all the same. Quake was data mined? Yeah, Quake was data mined, as well as the one kind of pod had her name on it, right? Is Jennifer Walters, she all come to the game? Yes. I can see Han Solo being an Avenger or Leia. Really? Hawkeye would be lit. They just need to nail down his playstyle. I agree. I agree. Like battle style map raids and other locations perhaps more common stories give us fantasy you want to see. I think you'll be very happy with Wakanda. From what I know, I think Wakanda will be kind of the kind of big thing that everyone wants it to be. In terms of after Wakanda, I know Miller has talked about Nowhere. So maybe. I don't have a PS5 yet. Yeah, dude, they're tough to get. Lots of people don't have a PS5 yet. I hate Spider-Man. He's a menace. Then adding hub rules on all the players going around would be a good solution to bad matchmaking. It could help. I mean, it depends. Like, if they start allowing, like, it all goes hand in hand, right? If you can start matchmaking with, like, more than one Kate or more than one Cap, then there's really nothing holding back a hub world, right? Because then at that point, it won't matter. I really want to see a Moon Knight or Daredevil, but probably won't. Yeah, it's tough. There's, like, so many characters people want. I don't know about those two in particular, man. When is the next DLC? I'm thinking we have the deep dive war table on the 16th, and then afterwards, I personally think he's coming on the 23rd. More like King and Black, give us a past store DLC or up to the game like seasons, but called stories. Wait, what? Sorry? Any new characters confirmed yet besides Hawkeye? Confirmed? No. Data mined? Yes. Will we get free roam? Probably not. This game is still broken, incomplete, 5 months. Yeah, there's some bugs to it, man. There's some bugs to it still. More than I'm comfortable saying a game like this should have, for sure. There's still lots of stuff that they need to fix, which is why personally I thought we would have seen a patch by now, but it looks like a patch could come as early as next week. Sorry, guys. Wakanda needs to be the same as like Kate's DLC. This game will be down in the water. So what I could tell you, Puppy, is that Wakanda's DLC, like Black Panther's DLC, will be bigger than Kate's and Clint's. It will be bigger. It'll be more substantial. Because that'll be the first time we get like a raid style content. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about the size of Wakanda. It's more about like the density of what we get within the size. You know what I'm saying? More like King and Black give us a past store, new stories, DLC, or update the game like seasons, but called story. Oh, I see what you're saying, Lucian. I mean, in some ways, it's kind of what they're doing with like the operations, right? They've just called them operations. It's like splitting hairs at that point, I guess, right? Imagine having Marvel zombie skins in the game. That'd be a dream come true. It would be a dream come true. Even Lando cracking jokes while shooting someone in the head. You're mixing your Star Wars and your Marvel up there. Nowhere, yeah. It looks like Nowhere could be coming at the end of the year, or when Captain Marvel comes out. Will we get free roam? No, not that I'm aware of. Spider-Man should bring Venom versus costumes for all the Avengers in the comics. That'd be pretty cool. Do you think they will release Quake, aka Daisy Johnson? If they do, it won't be this year. I think Nova would be cool. Nova's one of my favorites. My favorites are Nova and like Silver Surfer. I already know Silver Surfer won't ever touch this game, but Nova could be a very good second for me. I think the most surprising thing is that Marvel's not pushed to have characters that are coming up on Disney. Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like usually there's like cross marketing and cross promotion that usually work alongside these games, right? You think about all their mobile games and how that kind of works. The fact that we've had none of that in this game is very surprising. Which means they might be operating a level of autonomy away from Marvel games, which is very surprising for me personally. What do you think of the Black Panther suit that was leaked? All I know is that there will be more than one skin for anyone who wants to play Black Panther. And if there's one that you think is ugly, there will be ones that you don't think are ugly. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, personally, yeah, some of them are kind of ugly. Doctor Strange could easily be the most fun hero by far. I agree, Puppy. I agree. Game is not nearly as bad as launch. They fixed so much. Sorry, I moved my mic. Nicholas, you're right. They have fixed a lot, but there's obviously still stuff that they need to fix, right? It's just a matter of like it's literally whack-a-mole, man. They just got to start nailing some things down really, really quick. Will the game get shut down? Not anytime soon. I wouldn't worry about that. Down. Spidey better come out and soon. Like guys, I'm with you on a lot of this stuff, man. I want Spider-Man as much as you guys. I still think Spider-Man's a June hero. I think Spider-Man's in June. You just keep adding more to the war table the game needs to live on. There'll be lots of stuff coming, man. Iron Man flight should be made quicker. Tag me if you agree. Interesting. I think so too. I've always said too, how fast Thor goes from spinning his hammer to flying is way too long. Personally, I want to see Thor be able to fly faster, like get into the animation faster. Which character do you waiting Winter Soldier because I want to see his gameplay? Good question, man. Black Panther obviously is a big one that I'm waiting for. Winter Soldier should be pretty cool. She-Hulk could be pretty cool. Spider-Man could be pretty cool. Personally, like, if I'm going off of the leaked list that was leaked at the start, like in September or whatever, I think Ant-Man is probably one of the ones up there. Captain Marvel could be pretty cool. You know, I think depending on like what they do with a lot of these characters, there could be a lot of cool ones. But I think Ant-Man has the potential to be like a really fun one. Should I come back and play right now due to fixes that have already been made? I would wait a few weeks. If you're not really dying to come play, wait for the Hawkeye War Table on the 16th. See if that kind of interests you. See if the story is kind of going in a direction you're going in. And if that kind of interests you, yeah, come back. Why not? John's a secret dev. He's lying. I promise I'm not a developer for Crystal Dynamics. I promise I'm not a developer for Crystal Dynamics. Guys play Disney Infinity? Well, that game's dead.
I know there's a lot of people asking about a feature to turn helmets on and off. It's been discussed a bunch of times. I don't know if it's feasible or happen.
Okay. What if that Galactus in the future? That'd be cool. I think if they have like the ability to plan the end of the game, right? Like if they're like, we know the game's gonna end at this date. I think like maybe Galactus could be like the end. But yeah, Galactus would be a lot of fun. Waiting for Black Panther, Iron Fist, Nova, and Doctor Strange. All 4 of those characters are gonna be amazing. Now, once again, I don't think Iron Fist or Nova are coming to the game. But if they did, I think those are 4 characters altogether that'd be really fun. But I think out of the 2 that we know we'll most likely get, one is Black Panther, which we know we're getting if you've been following data mines and leaks and whatnot. Doctor Strange is probably a given, right? And those will be very fun characters. Any playable villains coming? Great question. Don't know. I wish. I think that could be a lot of fun. I would love to play as Taskmaster. Will we get movie or comic accurate skins? We've gotten some comic accurate skins. The movie stuff, I believe, is held up due to the licensing. They've already said they're looking into it. I really think it's licensing that they got to go through to get those. Why they didn't have that licensing secured at the start of the game is anyone's guess. I don't know. Pink Panther would be a disgrace. Are you the son of the Matchbox commercial guy who used to read really fast in commercials? No. No. Do you think we'll ever be able to enter the Avengers Tower? Yes, eventually. It'd be a damn shame if they didn't. Can I link accounts? What do you mean link accounts?
It's all about the free time, though.
I think Cap runs faster than Widow, but he's slower than her in the game. Ooh, interesting. I haven't...
Sounds really fun.
I think if you do like the jumping thing, then Widow's faster. But I think if you... I think if you hold the shield out and you're blocking while you run with Cap, I think he's faster that way. Am I correct on that? New enemies, please. I pray we never see robot enemies ever again. So for anyone who wasn't watching the stream last week, Phil did ask for input on what kind of enemies we would like to see, which is a tease for them. It's basically saying we're in the planning stages for enemies that aren't robots. What do you guys want to see? Now, if you guys are expecting new enemies for Hawkeye or Black Panther, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news and say probably not happening. But after those 2, more than likely we'll get new enemies that aren't robots. Ant-Man would be really cool to play as. I agreed. It's a Marvel Avengers game. You shouldn't have to build hype. Unfortunately, man, I do agree with you. The game should kind of sell itself. But it is what it is, right? Like, we live in the world we live in. You know, we deal with the cards we're dealt. But yeah, in a perfect world, I do agree with you. What do you think Ant-Man plot could be known he can't go big because he'll die? They'll just use Scott. They won't use Hank. I think they'll use Scott. Are they working on Black Panther? Yes. Wait, why isn't Ant-Man already playable? Good question. Once again, would have loved to be a fly on the wall of Crystal Dynamics when they were planning this game out. Thanks. I didn't mind the game at launch. Just wasn't enough content for me. I still have it. Didn't trade it off for ACO like I did Anthem. Nah, man, you're good. Like I said, the Hawkeye stuff on the 16th, wait and see kind of what that's bringing to the game. You know, if you haven't played any of the Kate stuff, maybe playing the Kate and the Hawkeye stuff together and when you kind of come back, maybe enough for you. But once again, like, you know, I would say, like, if you're not in a rush, man, there's no point in playing if you're not in a rush. If you're not going to enjoy it, you know, maybe wait and see what they kind of have planned. And if that aligns with what you're looking for, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie to you and say, like, oh my God, come back to the game right now, right? But you just got to wait and see what kind of stuff that they're gonna fire off, right? For me, I'm just hitting the game an hour or so a day to check the shop and run a few missions, trying to get balance my new character so on with anybody on the fly. Yeah, I get you, Jason. I get you. I'm going to be honest, man. I play a little bit, but it's not as much as I was playing like a month ago or 2 months ago, right? Like, I'm even hitting the burnout stage where I'm just burnt out at this point. And, you know, hopefully I can come back and grind, right? That's really what I want to do. I just want to come on and grind. And not just grind the grind, but grind for stuff that is meaningful, you know? Can I link accounts? Down. I have no idea what you mean by that. Is there new news? Everything that's kind of come out today, and we'll go over this at the end, everything that's kind of been talked about today is highlighted right here. Oh, can I get Spider-Man to transfer it to PC? No, there's nothing like that, man. There's no cross-save. You think Scarlet Witch is a hard character to make? Good question, man. Probably. I think a lot of these characters are probably hard to make because of the move sets that go into them. The movesets, planning it out, the animations, everything like that. I imagine there's a little bit more that goes into the planning and making of these characters than any of us really know.
My first hero skin.
But the good thing is, like, there's so much inspiration to pull from. So it's not like they're creating a fresh character that they don't know anything about. They just have to take what they've seen in the movies, TV show now, the comics, and really pull that and just kind of put it in their game. So probably difficult, but not impossible. My friend said that theory will get 3 phases. Reassemble the Avengers, reassemble allies. Kree War, finish the game sounds nice. Well, maybe. If it lines up with going to space, which I've heard that we will do, possible. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be the end of the game at that point, but they'd have to switch up, Maybe Spider-Man will come out alongside the PS5 version. The only reason I doubt that, Matthew, is because they've teased that on the 16th we're gonna get information about the next gen versions, and we've not heard any information about Spider-Man. And you think if they're gonna talk about Spider-Man, they would hype it up, right? Because that's like a pretty easy dub for the team to get. But I'm not gonna try and kill your hope. I would say, like, wait and see, but I will say I personally doubt it. What are the chances Cap gets his bike and Hawkeye gets his hover bike from being a Chile? I think they have talked about mounts, right? If I remember correctly, they have personally talked about adding mounts to the game, but I don't know if I can't remember what they've said. I think it was a matter of they're looking into it, but I don't think it's anything that is at the top of the list of implementation. So I'd have to go back and find what they've talked about in regards to that, but I would say maybe not, just because I don't think the maps are big enough to warrant that. If they created bigger areas, which they may in the future, then maybe they'll start looking at adding traversal in that regards. But now, I don't know.
We can make that statement.
Future DLC predictions, please.
Asking if we're gonna have Omega threats with all
the
the content releases, and I mean, obviously that's been difficult so far. So, but I would like to.
Can't make that prediction.
Dreven, thank you so much. Yeah.
Future DLC predictions. So what I know personally is that there will be Hawkeye, obviously, Black Panther, Spider-Man. There's been She-Hulk has been kind of data mined. Winter Soldier has been data mined. Carol has been data mined. All I know about Carol is that Carol looks to be coming with another raid. And when I say Carol, I mean Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel, from what I know, looks to be coming with another raid. I know Nowhere, once again, for anyone who's been here, I said Nowhere was kind of teased in that data mining. Once again, this all comes from Miller, so Miller could probably explain to you guys more than me in terms of what he's seen. I just know in conversations with him and stuff that he said publicly, I just kind of reiterate on what he said. The multiverse in this game, Secret Wars, I don't think we'll ever see that, man. What month do you think Captain Marvel's coming? Either the end of this year or early next. Quicksilver would be fun. I'd love it. Yeah, Quicksilver. Speedsters would be a lot of fun, man. I agree. Speedsters would be a lot of fun. I don't think there's been a game that's really tackled speedsters, but I think speedsters could be a lot of fun if done well. Combat, she would be pretty hard to make. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. But I think, once again,
it's a cool concept.
Since they have inspiration, it's not like they're making a new character straight up. It's more so take stuff that is memorable from her, and really how do we implement that in our game? They should add a climbable high tower to incentivize parkour for variety. Yeah, I mean, they gotta raise that ceiling first, right, before they do something like that. I really seem like a very cool dude, down to earth. Big up, Steven. Yo, Donnie, I appreciate that, man. I try my best, dude. I try my best. I want to see Ghost Rider in this game, but it isn't possible. Yeah, Ghost Rider would be a lot of fun.
The context for missions and operations, yeah, I mean, there's so many different storylines and comic books and movie ideas, and it's just, there's a lot. So yeah, we've talked about it. For sure.
After 16, when do you think we're going to get Hawkeye? Okay, so personally, guys, everyone's going to say something different. I think he's coming the 23rd. So you got to remember, the 16th is going to be the deep dive. The 19th, more than likely, will be the combat stream, where they do the combat there. And I think with the run-up that we've had, knowing this is coming, I don't think it's going to be a super long wait from this week to the release date. I really think it'll be 16th deep dive, 19th combat stream, and then the 23rd is the release date. Personally, that's what I think. I could literally sit here and have an egg on my face when this comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, you'll get like Hawkeye on the 9th of March or whatever. But personally, I do think it'll be the 23rd. The 23rd seems like a good date for me. I miss my Doom Herbie from Marvel Heroes. Pets used to be the vacuum of gear that you don't have to... Yep. I remember, man. I remember Marvel Heroes, dude. I remember. I had, on the Steam version, I had like 900 hours, and then it was before it was on Steam, right? You download the client straight off the website. I had to have a few hundred hours in there as well, man. And I put a lot of money into that game. You know, you go see like a Marvel movie, and then you'd come home, you'd fire out Marvel Heroes, and you'd be like, oh, like, what was it? It was like War Machine came out at one time, and I was like, yeah, like, all right. War Machine came out in like a summer month too, right? So I remember War Machine came out, and it was like $20 for like the pack. You get like War Machine, you get 2 costumes and something else, and I was like, yeah, all right, dude, let's do it. And then you just keep doing that and doing that and doing that. What's after Black Panther? I mean, it could be Bucky, it could be She-Hulk, it could be Spider-Man. Spider-Man will most likely be tied to a different character for other platforms, but which other platform is anyone's guess. Doctor Strange this year, Vision? No, probably not the both of those.
Hawkeye has hair, yes, Steve Rogers. We actually revealed his day off outfit already previously when we first announced Hawkeye. That one's based off of the My Life as a Weapon one, so more.
Hope the Avengers game is still popular as when Avenger 5 releases in the next 5 to 8 years would be nice. Thunderbolts? Nothing we've heard. I think it's March. It could be. I got like $30 right in on February, to be honest with you guys. Honestly, don't think any mutants Fantastic Four are going to be in the game because technically they aren't Avengers, more so affiliates. Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see any mutants or Fantastic Four either. War Machine. So the War Machine is an interesting one. You have to go to Miller's stream if you're familiar with who Miller is. Apparently, War Machine had some stuff in the game files, but a lot of the War Machine stuff was kind of used.
Of those things we're gonna hopefully be able to talk about when we get the roadmap lined up.
Yeah, so just
we have updates planned for difficulty, progression.
But War Machine, a lot of War Machine stuff apparently made it over to Iron Man. So War Machine's like worked on, but we don't know the status of War Machine. I think once the roster is more fleshed out, like a Civil War / Contest of Champions mode. I mean, the unfortunate thing is they've already kind of ruled out PvP, but I agree, like PvP could be a lot of fun. I love this game, but it's on these all speculation and at least nothing beyond Panther is even confirmed. Yeah, and they've said like a lot of it's in approval, which I've already talked about it somewhat, which is like the fact that like things are in approval at this stage really makes me think a lot of the stuff has kind of changed. And if things are changing that drastically, I just kind of wonder what's gone on, you know? You ever get tired of answering the same questions over and over? No, because like people can pop in, pop out, you know what I mean? Like I get it, you know? I get it. So if someone could pop in and like hear the question for the first time, even though there's gonna be people who've heard it for like the third or fourth time, I understand. When is Black Panther debuting? We don't know.
I do too.
I hope they add more maps. They are adding more biomes. You'll get more biomes and more stuff to like fight in. You will.
Definitely better.
Anything on Spider-Man? Unfortunately not, Connor. Are they still losing money from this game? I don't think so. I can briefly talk about that a little bit because some people have come from Super Rebels video. So originally what happened is obviously, you know, you have your development costs, and when you stretch that over a period, it's called like amortization or whatever. What happens is what they've kind of said is the marketing plan they chose for the game, which the marketing actually sucked. I don't think anyone could ever disagree on that. The marketing kind of sunk and the game wasn't able to kind of make up the difference. But at this point between like that time and now, there's been holiday sales, Black Friday, whatever else, monetization through microtransactions. I don't think this game's in a bad spot, and which is why they've said like, you know, their game division year over year has made money. They highlighted Avengers and Final Fantasy. Avengers was the 11th best-selling game according to MPD. So I don't think it's in a bad spot. I don't think it's in a spot that they thought it would be in. I think they thought it would do a lot better considering the IP, but I don't think it's in a bad spot.
4K would be like chaos. All
How many
that
characters are coming this year?
teleporting going on.
Unknown, probably 5
Control, though.
to
control,
6.
oh my
Pump up
God.
enemies so many times in a row, plus 4 decoys.
With civilians that you can interact with. They have talked about they're adding more
I think 4
NPCs.
decoys sounds really broken.
It does.
Do you think Sokovia will be added in eventually along with Ultron? Ultron, yes. Sokovia,
Sounds like
no.
on the field,
Because I think what they're gonna do is Roy's gonna become Ultron. So I don't think that's gonna tie into a Sokovia situation at all.
So broken.
What about Sentry? He was a part of the Avengers. Sentry would be cool, man. Sentry would be cool. I don't know about him though. I saved Optimus Prime's Iron Man build from the forum. This game needs an official forum for ideas we can come up with them. Caution my days, maybe we can vote on them. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like the Marvel Heroes forum was like such a cool spot to be, right? Like, and like unfortunately, like things have kind of changed since then and now, right? You have like Reddit and like Discord. Discord is like in the moment, and like Reddit is like okay, Reddit's okay, but like Reddit's not really broken down in the same way like a forum is. But I agree, like the Marvel Heroes forum for the time was perfect. I just wanted to know the playstyle is going to stay the same, or they adding new enemies and not just... They are going to eventually add new enemies, Baconator. It's just not anytime soon. I'm pretty confident in saying it'll be after Black Panther.
I think I got roped into doing a hive over here.
I actually appreciate how you're answering and show no bias and open mind. Yeah, I mean, like, the game's not in a great spot, guys. I mean, I know it. I sit here and cover the game, right? I could tell you guys straight up. There's some issues with the game, but I remain hopeful that the game turns around, right? Like... I enjoy playing the game. I don't regret my time playing the game. I don't regret my time covering the game. I just hope that the game kind of hits a rebound and kind of comes back up, and you know, like, but yeah, I'm not gonna like lie to you guys, be like it's the greatest game in the world. No, it's not, right? Like, but it's solid. The foundation's a little rocky. You know, what they've added so far hasn't been good enough. They got to do better. You know, they got to do better. When is the PS5 version coming out? We won't know until the 16th. That will probably get revealed on the 16th, man. Do you think market store prices should be permanent? Yes. Yes. I think the market store, for what you get, you don't get a lot out of it. I've talked about if they're going to charge $14 for a skin, the skin should probably have like special visual effects tied to it. What you get now for like 1,400 credits, which is like $14 or whatever it is in your local currency, I don't think it's a good kind of like, you know, it's not a good exchange. You know, so if they keep the prices as is, I want those costumes in the legendary spot to include more. But if not, I would like to see the prices reduced. Yeah, and I've already said too that recolors should not be sold for money. If you're gonna have recolors, they should probably just be
Stories that you want to tell
in the like the vendors or patterns or whatever else.
Thanks for playing.
Century and Quicksilver, yes.
Ultron.
Both to those I would love to see. Don't think we'll get
It's
them.
your, it's your almost birthday, so you kind of.
Will they add Iron Man Mark 85 suit? Maybe. The MCU stuff seems to be locked in legal hell with licensing. Ideally, yes, but we won't know until they clear up the licensing issues with Marvel Studios, I guess.
Happy early birthday, Destiny.
Considering how bad CG Product Red screwed the pooch, I'm giving Avengers more slack and hoping they recover, and I was highly critical and not played since, but hoping they can. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting on Cyberpunk to get better as well, man. I haven't uninstalled it. Oh, wait, maybe I did uninstall it recently. I may have uninstalled it recently, but, you know, I'm going to go back to it eventually. Have I been watching WandaVision? Yes. Really good episode last night. I wish Cap could fly in the game since he does wield Mjolnir. Yeah, maybe eventually, man. They do tease that a little bit.
There's more clarity coming with
So maybe.
Future patch.
So I think they talked about the clarity of like what you get when you do a mission.
Villains? Well, Clint is Future Imperfect's down the line. All right,
Okay.
let's go.
They need to make an arena like Prison of Elders and Sakaar. Could also take away the Mega Hive and switch it for the arena. Yeah, the only thing about PvP, guys, is they've already said like they don't want to do PvP. And in a lot of cases, I kind of agree with them.
Line with possibly Red Skull, that'd be super cool. I would love to do it.
The thing about PvP is like the balancing act and like balancing sandboxes and stuff. Well, I agree that I would love PvP. The balancing act of PvP and PvE is difficult. Difficult.
The longer answer is, the trick is, if we were to do something like that, then we'd have to make sure that the game is running a little bit leaner than it is right now because we're almost tapping out on how much stuff we can run. So it's kind of like a trade-off. We'd have to figure it out. It's something we've talked about just to be. Yeah.
So the question I think was asked is I'd rather see 6 players instead of 4 of the same character. So basically what he's saying is that the game, hardware-wise, is already tapping out a lot of the consoles, which I imagine that's probably the base consoles of like last generation, the PS4 and the Xbox Ones. So they'd have to try and nail down like what to do to kind of limit what's going on in-game to kind of give you guys 2 extra players to matchmake with. Sorry guys, let me catch up here. I remain hopeful as well. I think it will too. 5 to 6 years of content this year could do it for sure. Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet. That's probably a safe bet. 5 to 6 years in content alongside each of them. But that'll be depending on like what platform you're on, right? So like, you know, you're like Xbox and PC aren't going to see Spider-Man, so you got to be careful of like how that's worded, I guess. Make it 2 times as harder with objectives while finding the enemies. Make it 2 times more rewards than the Mega Hive. It could be cool, man. If you mean like that's a PvE thing, like PvE thing could be pretty cool. I've already said like I would like to see a horde mode. Whether that is something that I can't remember if they're working on that or said something about that, but a horde mode could be really cool. They're gonna need Old Man Logan. The Maestro stories is not gonna be the same as just Old Man Hawkeye. I've said like one of the cool things would be if they were able to sneak him in. But the moment they bring in Wolverine, you know how many people are gonna be asking for Wolverine? You know what I mean? It's like a can you do it? And it's like if you can do it, you better be ready to release that character like ASAP, or people are gonna be very upset. You know. But I agree that like Old Man Logan would be a very cool piece to that story, and it's like how do you do that? I mean, the thing is, I'm pretty sure they're gonna take the story of, you know, and just kind of twist it on its head. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, right? Does the game have an official Discord chat URL? So you please post the link in the description of the video. Can't find it. Yeah, man, I'll post it. It's discord.gg/play Avengers. But I'll post it in the description as well, man. I think once you beat Hawkeye's story and get him to a max level, sorry guys, the game will be boring. Well, that's the problem, Jordan. Like that's the problem, right? Is how do they got to keep players playing, right? And like, I'm gonna do a video of like my predictions for the Hawkeye DLC. But once again, if it's just like a story DLC and there's no end game stuff, right? No cloning labs comes with Hawkeye, no mega level threats come with Hawkeye, then you're gonna see the same thing you saw with Kate, right? It's hype, 1 day of fun, and then after that, it's like, oh, I guess it's over, you know? What skins are in the shop currently? I have a video on it, Heretic, but in short, dude, probably nothing you want. They need to have more comic suits. Agreed, Long. Agreed. Glad I waited on Cyberpunk. Got it for half price. It's not like either that game or this one is a loaf of bread. Yeah, dude. Both kind of shit the bed a little bit, Jason. I agree. Will they fix Elite Hives? We kicked out a lot during those missions. David, what's the issue with Elite Hive? You're getting kicked out of it? Is it like just kind of, that's it? You're just getting kicked out? WandaVision was so boss last night, so glad you're watching it when they're carrying heroes from Marvel shows. Yeah, WandaVision is, it's going to get even nuttier, man. It's going to get even nuttier. If you guys aren't watching WandaVision, you should be. It's going to be so good. Cyberpunk is not for me. That's fair. That's fair. You know, not every game is going to be for every person. You know, it's all about finding the game for you and enjoying it as much as you can, right? If no PvP, we need more options. Yeah, we like that's the thing. You just need more stuff to do, right? You need more stuff to do, and you need more meaningful rewards from that stuff you're doing. Or else it's just kind of like one of the worst things, guys, is I don't know about you guys, but one of the worst things, like you just kind of log in, you're like, okay, what am I doing today? Or you're playing with friends, you're like, all right, like what one do you want to do, right? And you're just like, what like we don't even know what we're doing, right? Like, do you go grind Tachyon rifts for like the next fucking hour of your life, or like it's in a lot of ways it's so directionless, and it sucks. It sucks. An automatic connect from your squad if you're just. They have mentioned that it's in here. Where is it? Rejoining sessions is something we'd like to do. Don't know where the feature is at. So it looks like they are looking into rejoining sessions. Who said that? Sorry. David. David, have said they're looking into rejoining sessions, but they don't know where it's at currently. Or like a mini raid. Well, the mini raid is supposed to be cloning labs, right? Lack of MCU skins is what most were cloning about in the beginning, but honestly, there are other things to be fixed that are more important than cosmetics. Well, I mean, I guess like the good thing is like they're going to try and tackle everything by like different departments, right? But like ideally, yeah, like you fix the gameplay stuff, you fix the stuff that's most, that's like most daunting, and then once the game's in a good spot, you give everyone the cosmetics because more people are like inclined to play the game, right?
Yes, but the definition of what that is going to be something that we're working on. Because I mean, when you say the word raid, it means a million things for people. So once we get closer to having that kind of content out, we'll talk about what that means for us.
Interesting. Is it free upgrade the next gen? Yes. What do you think about DLC double feature that dropped to characters? That's probably what's going to happen for Spider-Man. Spider-Man will be a double release with someone else because of the exclusivity for PlayStation. I would love to see Iron Man model Prime suit with movie skills and more from the wings during and retract gauntlet. Yeah, I've said something similar, Knight. Not like totally online with what you said, but I said if you're gonna release skins for $14, they should have like visual effects added to them. Give people like visual effects that really matter. It's not just like a skin that looks a little bit better. Give stuff that kind of does something different and like really give people like the value for their money, because at the end of the day, like the skins you get really aren't really value for your money, right? $14, $10, whatever.
I have decisions for level designers, technical designers. If some of you are that, please apply.
Lucia finds limited to people one character per team deals with. Yep. I agree.
I agree.
And if you like me, you can work with me. If you don't like me,
the thing is, there are PvP against something like Black Widow against Captain Marvel. So, and if they want to add something like Sentry, what would differentiate them from the Hulk? Well, I guess playstyles and like a lot of that will come down to like the gear, right? But there is a balancing act of like, it's like with any game with like PvE and PvP together, right? Like, do you balance the sandbox differently? Do you balance the sandbox together? Right, like in terms of like the Marvel lore, it won't add up, right? You'll have a Black Widow that can take down like for example, in that scenario, Sentry, and like people are gonna be like, what is that? Like, how does that work? But like they're gonna prioritize the gameplay over the lore, essentially.
I'm not gonna answer it, but it's a great question.
Boom! Now your Black Panther starting to DLC. We can only wish. Yeah, Cody, that's a wish, man. Not a bad wish, but a wish nonetheless.
You allow your resume to get the job. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to pass an interview.
What do you think about the Avengers Tower? I think after we get Hawkeye, we get the tower. I think we'll eventually get the tower. I just don't know when.
Phil, weren't you the one who like?
WandaVision is great so far. Agreed. I want to see Hawkeye's Ronin costume. I would be very surprised if we don't get Ronin, considering they've already talked about his sword plays inspired by Ronin. It would be a very big missed opportunity if we don't get a Ronin costume. Right now, it looks like we'll be getting bald, like the current Hawkeye, like the bald. I'm just gonna call him bald guy. And then Old Man Hawkeye Classic Casual, which is from the Matt Fraction run. And then I've put a question mark beside Ronin, but I'd be very surprised if we didn't get Ronin. I want to see better boss fights. Abomination and Taskmaster is nice. I agree, man. I agree. Hopefully the Maestro fight's really good. Hopefully Maestro is a lot of fun. I think you should add more modes like Warframe. I agreed. I like I said, I want to see a Horde mode. Hold on one sec.
Anim, I'll answer that just because I think that's useful to a lot of people, even though it's not necessarily about the game. But when you have a portfolio.
Okay. Sorry, what was I? New bosses, new maps. Yes, I would like to see new bosses and new maps, which both are coming. We just, it's a matter of the race to get them. Do you have a PS5? Yeah, I play on PS5. Have you played multiple? Yeah, I've played Ultimate Alliance 3. I don't necessarily enjoy Ultimate Alliance 3, but I think for a lot of people, lots of people enjoy it. It's just not for me. The combat is like okay. The camera angle is like whatever. It's an okay game. It doesn't do it for me, but it does it for some people, and that's okay. Infinite waste-based survival, it would be a lot of fun, man. Yo, JJ, what's up, man? Everything they've said so far, JJ, is right here in the good old notepad, man. And all this stuff, guys, I'm gonna be putting this in the video description below when the live stream's done. So all of this stuff will be in the video description for anyone who wants to go back and clarify what was said. I have a question. I played through the campaign, but it's saying 97% complete. What can I do to get it to 100? You might be. Good question, Sean. Is there something you're missing? That's actually a good question, man. I would say go to like your objectives and see if there's anything in there that you could be missing. Whether that's a like a mission chain or just a singular mission. There might be something in there that I might be missing, man. Especially with the robot boss fights, first time it was cool seeing the huge Ronin storm, but we just got boring. Why can't we fight someone like Red Skull or Whiplash? Agreed. Hopefully over time, long we get those, man. Hopefully over time. They should have had a roster of characters with a lot of stage and bosses like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
It's just it's a really long answer. But
in essence, I do agree with you.
Send me a message on PSN and I'll try to give you a.
In essence, I do agree with you that like more is always better. It just there's probably a multitude of reasons why we got like a very small roster. And I've always said it seems like the single player stuff was so good and then the multiplayer stuff is not so good. And I wonder where in development the multiplayer stuff really came into fruition, because like it just seems like the handshake between the story, like the single player and the multiplayer just isn't there. But yeah, I mean, I agree though, like more is always better, right? More characters, more villains, more levels, more this, more that, you know what I mean? We need an infinite wave-based survival mode ASAP. Agreed. Who's the best Marvel hero? Silver Surfer. Have you seen Hawkeye in action yet? I've only seen what we see in Kate's missions. I've not seen anything outside of that. Wolverine, in terms of the best Marvel hero, Doctor Strange and Thor, you guys are all right. You know, you guys are all right. In my opinion, Hulk's the most disappointing character. I don't like how his jump isn't so high. Not really far in the comments and movies. I wish they choose the option how far and how you go. I've seen a lot of those questions in the chat here. Sorry, who said that? Long. I've seen a lot of people ask for that, man. So you're not the only one who wants to see Hulk be able to jump higher and farther. A lot of what they got to do too is they got to reduce like the flight ceiling as well. But yeah, you're not the only one who is a Hulk player and wants to see Hulk kind of jump farther and higher. Maybe that's something they'll look into eventually, but I don't know if that's something they're kind of looking at right now and saying like, we got to do this right now. But ideally, yes.
But yes, I have eaten pennies.
I want to see how they add the classic suit. For Clint, you mean?
What the?
Do you think Black Panther would make an appearance in Hawkeye DLC?
Every time this gets worse.
Man, you guys are taking my video away. I don't think we'll see Black Panther. I think we'll have a mention of Wakanda in the DLC. Kind of like Wakanda, we ought to go to like Wakanda for whatever reason. I don't know if we'll necessarily see Black Panther himself, but there will be like a mention of Wakanda in Hawkeye's DLC. Yes, just at the end, kind of like a teaser of like where the story's going next.
I feel like
how cool would it be for Ant-Man to be added? I agreed. I want to see Ant-Man. Give Cap his motorcycle. They, like I said earlier, they have touched on that. I forget what they've said regarding traversal, but
Actually saying that in chat.
I don't know.
Understandable to eat pennies.
I think so. I haven't looked, but I think so.
Where are the penny eaters in chat?
We need more time travel scenarios like in K Bishop's DLC. Yeah, time travel, like multiverse, you know, alternate universe stuff. Lots of stuff like that is really interesting. I'd like to see more like that. I agree. Have they said anything about an emote wheel? Today, I don't think so. I think they've said emote wheel is like in like they're working on it, right? But yeah, I don't think they've touched on it at all today. I want boss fights that are different and isn't the same. I 100% agree with you, Long. I 100% agree with you. I think the game is getting a lot of hate. Less now than it was a few months ago. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, man, is like the game will hopefully will turn around. And when it turns around, people will kind of give it the recognition it deserves. In a lot of ways, the game isn't in a great state. So when it's not in a great state, you know, people will kind of call it out. And I've called it out the game in certain regards that the game isn't in a great state. You know, there's definitely criticism to be levied at the game, but it's just a matter of like, you know, what will they add? What will they change? And, you know, hopefully as they change and add more stuff, the game will get recognition for the good things they do. Just like the game got recognized for the bad things they do as well, right?
Even Steve Rogers doesn't have your back on.
I liked Ultimate Alliance 2 more than 3. I haven't played Ultimate Alliance 2 in a while, but from what I remember, it was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys remember X-Men Legends. Now that's a game going back in time. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for the notes again. Really excited right now. I mean, yeah, there's some cool stuff, man. For people who don't know, it looks like there is going to be a new Iron Man outfit coming as early as next week. They said it has a cape, and the only one that has a cape that I know of that they could kind of lean on that is comic accurate is Infamous Iron Man. So maybe.
It's Don't ask Andy what
Just
what's
that-
more weird things.
Hawkeye's shock arrows, detonator arrows, and normal ones, I guess. So they've talked about a little bit about Hawkeye. So they have the Pulsar arrows, the Tripwire arrows, and Boomerang arrows so far. It sounds like Hawkeye is going to have more than that, though, in terms of the arrow arsenal that you'll pick from. But those are the three that they've kind of talked about this far and kind of teased. So we don't really know what they do or how they work to a degree, but those are the three that they've talked about and said, like, these are the ones we're going to tell you beforehand.
That one I'm like actually, because grass is understandable, but pennies is like. Oh,
I think they
that's
should have air takedowns for characters that fly and boss takedown. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Air takedowns would be a lot of fun. Lando or Han Solo, who's a better shot? Han Solo.
Just like grass is understandable.
Episode 5 of WandaVision makes me excited for Scarlet Witch. Yeah. It's a really good episode, guys. You guys, like I said, if you guys aren't watching WandaVision, you guys are really missing out.
After pennies,
I hope Hawkeye gets beat up so I can imagine it's you. You saying that because I'm
think
bald?
grass is more understandable.
Don't say that.
See?
They said a motorcycle is probably not happening, but they're working on it. Yeah, they said like they're looking into it. I've told people like don't expect it. Should they drop 2 characters at a time instead of 1? They will for Spider-Man. 100% they will for Spider-Man.
Terrible.
So if you're on PlayStation, you will get 2 characters. If you're on
See,
all
would
the
you
other
guys
platforms, so
rather
like,
chicken fat or eat a penny?
so if you guys are on the other platforms, you will only get 1. I think like 1 character a month is fine because that's 1 DLC per month. It depends on the size, man. If they're doing like really substantial DLCs, then like maybe. That's probably a little too much to ask for considering like what we've gotten out of the game this far. If they're like saying like we'll just kind of give you a character and no missions and we'll just add the missions as we can, like maybe, but it's so tough to like kind of say like, you know, because like right now like what we've gotten hasn't been a lot and it's been a while, right? So it's really tough to like say like 1 DLC a month would be okay, you know. I will say if they add Bucky, it will be a mix between Cap and Blackwood. Well, they are adding Bucky, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. When Hulk lands, he needs to break cars' dents and not land like a feather. Yeah, not the little crack in the ground. Really, but that is Victor, not Tony. I know, Jason, but that's the only one that has a cape. That's the only one, right? It like what other arm? Like I know people are saying like the Sorcerer Supreme. Like what if Tony was like Sorcerer Supreme or whatever? But like, you know, like. I don't know. It has to like unless it's an original. They wouldn't tease an original costume. They wouldn't. I can't see that. They're teasing something that people know. They're teasing something people know.
Deep fried penny.
And it's gonna cost a ridiculous amount of money. Oh, what for the costume next week? Yeah, it's gonna be a legendary one for sure. Do you think Scarlet Witch will come to the game? Probably not this year, Jaden. Probably not this year. I want to see Red Guardian fight Cap, like a story, Black Widow and her sister. That'd be pretty cool. I definitely think they'll need to kind of continue on the stories of the original launch characters and kind of give them more things to kind of give like stuff to do. But whether that's included in like new character DLC or anything like that will be kind of remain to be seen. But I agree that like they need to kind of do more with the original 6.
This one actually, coincidentally.
Hopefully, if Wanda is added, she's a DLC with Vision, like they could share DLC. You play half as Wanda. That'd be really interesting, Aiden.
I do when I'm not playing with you guys.
The game isn't bad, but isn't good. Can't believe I bought the deluxe edition. Yeah, I mean, there's probably lots of people who feel that way, Long. There's probably lots of people, man. Shrunken takedowns? What? You mean shuriken takedowns?
You see?
Oh, shrunken takedowns. And like, oh, like for like Ant-Man? I was totally taking that in the wrong direction, Byron.
Answering questions about the game, and we were so focused.
I really want to see the Superior Iron Man suit. 100% agreed.
You know,
Okay.
I love your bald head. I compliment more than anyone else. I appreciate you, Cage. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I think they ran out of game.
I still think they need to drop 2 characters a month with 1 villain to play catch up.
Put it in your mouth.
Ideally, like, yes, but like in terms of like their kind of production and what they've shown that they can do comfortably so far, I think it's a little unrealistic, right? I think it'll probably be like every few months you get something, only because like it's seemingly like the pace they're working at doesn't support like that kind of idea. But like in essence, I would agree with you that like that would be an amazing pace to have because like there's always something like every month. Just kind of based on like what they've shown this far, it just doesn't seem like that's something we could ever expect out of them. Iron Patriot would be cool too. Is Spider-Man going to be the same one or different games or a different version? Spider-Man will be in the same game. It's just he's only going to be in the PlayStation side of the game. that we know of. We don't know if it's a timed exclusive or like a forever exclusive. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is Spider-Man the one in the game? Same one? Oh, no. It's going to be a different version. It's not going to be the Insomniac ones. It's not going to be Insomniac. It's going to be Crystal Dynamics take on Spider-Man. When Spider-Man coming out? We don't know. I'm theorizing like a June release.
Phil, if you're leaving, I might. I'll keep playing, but I might just go to like host someone now.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Want Doctor Strange? Yes, you and a lot of people, my friend.
Thank you for all the questions. Looking forward to answering some more.
I mean, they can make an original design, but I'm sure everyone would rather comic accuracy. Yeah, of course, of course. Which is why I think the Iron Man one that they're teasing is going to be an infamous Iron Man.
Talking about it some more. So wish you guys a good weekend, and I will see you next time.
If Lando was in the game, I see him shooting people in the head while cracking jokes about something. I've seen a lot of people ask for a lot of things, Brooks, but you're asking for something, man. Hey, when is Black Panther coming out?
As we do this,
Andrew, I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I think this mission is ending. Well, it is.
We don't know exactly when.
Do you guys want me to continue?
We don't know when Black Panther's coming out. I'm saying he more than likely is the next one after Hawkeye. And with that being said, he's probably looking at a late April release. Late April to like a May release for Black Panther. I'm also speculating that a lot of the playtesting stuff that's happening over the next few weeks is for Black Panther stuff. Because that DLC looks to be more substantial. So
okay, I'll finish this mission.
I would imagine that because it's going to be more substantial, that they're going to want to test it a little bit. But I think it's going to be like a April to May release for Black Panther. But we don't know officially. More team takedowns would be nice. Then Captain Marvel's most teased character. In game, yeah, in game, because like you see all the posters and everything to do with her from Kamala's side, right? But yeah. When is Black Panther dropping? Should have been here, but yeah, I know, man. I know. I think we'll see Hawkeye, Black Panther, War Machine, Captain Marvel, and Winter Soldier by the end of the year. Well, we're forgetting She-Hulk that has had some work done on her in the files, right? Versus like War Machine, where a lot of War Machine's kit was kind of used on Iron Man. So War Machine is probably like the biggest question mark this far. I paid extra for the deluxe theater. It's a pandemic and it was my birthday. Oh, Jason, I'm sorry, man. I hope the game turns around, man, and everyone can enjoy it as best they can, you know?
I know you're considering it.
Whatever that sleek Iron Man design is in the planes is the only skin I need. Wait, JJ, which one?
I'm not sure how interesting that would be, you guys.
Game as is pretty dead, can't but say that I'm waiting for Black Panther Spider-Man. I mean, yeah, I mean, like it's tough, man. I try to go on and play, and you know, matchmaking can take a while, and it's a sad state of affairs. Like, there's no way around it, right? It is what it is. It's just annoying to see an enemy shrunk and go back to normal size. Oh, I see what you're saying, Byron. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
When they bring it back Unworthy Thor,
When I first started working at Crystal,
ideally
you know, we
soon
just had big
for the people who miss them.
about random things, and they're like,
June is too late for Spidey. He needs to come out a little earlier than that. Matthew, in a perfect world, I agree with you, man. I'm just kind of theorizing based on like what we,
they never let me live it down.
by kind of just like
Oh my gosh.
just
I mean,
putting my own theory out there, man. But in a perfect world, I do agree with you that like early 2021 does not extend to June. But yeah, we don't know. Yeah, Red Hood, you're 100% right, man. We don't know until we get told what we know, you know. Fat Thor skin, yeah. If they could get access to MCU licensing, which I'm theorizing that's the issue with the MCU stuff, I would like to see Fat Thor as well. Excited for the War Table. They better tell more details of the Black Panther DLC, a little more than what they showed for Hawkeye in the last War Table.
They're like, no more talking.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I mean, like, I would hope that. I don't know if we're gonna get like a full blown kind of deep dive or like a lot of explanation on Black Panther. I think you'll get a little tease on the 16th of like where the story is to go after Hawkeye, and just like you'll get a little tease after the you'll get a little tease at the end of Hawkeye's DLC. But I wouldn't expect any sort of big Black Panther news anytime soon.
And coffee. And milk tea.
How many employees are working on this game between Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix? So Square, I don't think we got to understand the relationship between like a publisher and like a developer, right? So right now, the only people that probably are working on the Square side are like PR and marketing people working alongside the community team. But I think Crystal has like 300 to 400 employees. Now, that's not to say all 300 to 400 employees are working on the Avengers game, right? But I would say probably a good chunk of those guys are working on it, right? And didn't they just start up a new studio up in Washington State or Oregon? It's like Pacific Northwest with their whole goal of like supporting this game. So I'd probably say like probably a couple hundred people. Probably a couple hundred people. What's up, Car Racer? How you doing, man? Did I need to add more fights on top of the carrier than they need to add maps with water parts? Ooh, that'd be really interesting. Yeah, like the helicarrier. I mean, it would be interesting if the helicarrier got raided, like in Avengers 1. And like you have to fight on the helicarrier. It'd be really interesting. I don't know if they'd ever do that, but it would be a really sleek way of like reusing assets, which could be good for development time and just kind of giving us like something different, right? I literally bought the game twice on yeah, I bought a PC copy and a PlayStation copy, man. I'm in the same boat. If Ant-Man was added, his ultimate would be he grows really tall. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Planning out my dinner plans here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think the Marvel Heroes Ant-Man Ultimate was a really good, could be a really good inspiration for how Ant-Man could work. Let me turn this up a little bit here.
From Square Enix. So
Then I like the space mission. Yeah, more of those. You will get more space missions at the end of the year, more than likely.
On there, but I can ask.
When I play with friends such subs and avoid matchmaking issues. Well, I mean that's definitely like a short-term fix for it, but like you know, definitely they need to address like well, they need to address like a lot of the stuff that kind of has pushed players away. And then ideally, as more stuff gets added to the game, there's more stuff to do, more people will come back. But yeah, definitely like, you know, for like someone like myself, it's definitely more so about playing with like a community to like, you know, to avoid those matchmaking issues. But I'm talking about like when I'm not live or not playing, you know, for a video or whatever. It's more so like on my own time that like, you know, I queue up in the game and it's like, oh, like matchmaking has issues, right? But, you know, definitely if I play it like on stream or whatever, then it's like, yeah, like, you know, if any of you guys wanted to come play, like you're more than welcome to.
Brown ball. I like playing Kamala.
They need to push at least one new hero a month. In a perfect world, I agree. I don't think the original six story. Don't think the original six story will continue to get the Creed War DLC. Well, I think like there'll be like little tidbits here and there of like their story continuing on. But I think like iconic missions and stuff like that, like, you know, there will be like more missions added to the game. It's just a matter of like when or where, you know.
Just as Marvel.
Black Panther should release along with Spider-Man. It'd be a good idea. Centurion? Wait, what, Cage? I'm curious when we see you get a facelift. Yeah, Dance. That's the biggest one for me, man. In my what I want from Avengers 2021 video, I talked about a whole new UI for the War Table. And when we would get that, because as more characters get released with more operations, it's gonna look like a mess. It's gonna look like a mess. So yeah, Dance, I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. Think at the War Table we get some info on Spider-Man. I mean, maybe, hopefully. I think a lot of the stuff that they're holding back on is due to the approval process of the roadmap. Sorry, guys, my voice is kind of crackling here a little bit. So like Black Panther, Spider-Man, stuff like that. You know, Captain Marvel, Winter Soldier. I imagine once the once the roadmap is kind of out there in the world, they'll be able to freely more talk about these characters. Thor needs a story with Loki. They need to continue the Loki story. If Vision is added, be it open a whole new Thanos story. Well, they've already talked about they don't want to do Thanos, right? Before the game launched, they talked about they want to stay away from Thanos. So I wouldn't put any hope into a Thanos storyline anytime soon. That's not to say forever, but anytime soon.
That's just what I do. You know?
They need to add a red and black skin of the Solara skin of Iron Man that was never released, shown in the Iron Man Pro Tips video. It seems like they're holding back on some cosmetics. Why? I don't know. There was like I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there was like an artist who had their portfolio open at one point, and like a bunch of us went through his portfolio, and like that was where we saw like the Maestro skin and all this other stuff. It seems like they're holding back on a few different skins for whatever reason it is. The helicarrier isn't too big to intertwine something without the survival mode. Yeah, it'd be really interesting, JJ. Vamus added the villain to be Yellow Jacket. More than likely, Aiden. Instead of She-Hulk, we should get Falcon. There was a question. I missed the question, but I missed who asked it. But someone asked how they would make She-Hulk different than the Hulk. I think it's just more agile, right? She-Hulk would just be more agile in terms of like the movement and stuff like that. And in terms of like the power set and like powers and abilities and stuff, I'm not entirely sure how they would do that. But I would expect her to be more agile in like her movement and traversal and stuff like that. Sorry to whoever asked that. I remember the question. I just don't remember who asked. But yeah, instead of like Falcon would be a lot of fun. I would think that Falcon would be on a short list after this year of like characters to add, you know. They should give us Loki for Thor's story arc. Well, they guys got to continue with Loki, right? He disappears and you don't know what happens to him after.
Did Andy jump into the lightning?
I know it's not necessary, but multiverse would be a good way to bring a guest here to the Star Wars. There's one Star Wars game and Marvel game into one. You might get something like that, like a fighting game, right? Fighting game would be pretty cool for that. I don't know. I can't see that ever happening though, Brooks, in this one. 100% come back to K Bishop being added, still quite broke. Yeah. There's still lots of issues, man. Like there's not like at every patch they kind of nail down more and more, but you know, somehow they seemingly will bring in new glitches and stuff too, right? Ideally, you know, they keep nailing down as much as they can. Oh, I was answering JJ's question. All right, Cage, my bad, bro. My bad. Huge miss and gave us yeah, it's a huge miss. No Red Skull for Cap. I agree.
Oh my god.
Gameplay wise, that would be fun. I feel you, Brooks.
All right.
I think more people are gonna be hyped for Falcon instead of She-Hulk. The only reason I think She-Hulk, like they're planning to do She-Hulk, is like because of like her Disney Plus show, right? It's like really weird because like some characters they're picking based on like the cross marketing and the cross pollination of like TV shows, comics, and like the game, and then some characters they aren't doing that, but it might just be like they're pick and choosing and you know. But I think She-Hulk will get a lot of hype when the stuff around her TV show comes more out there. When Ant-Man suit should be the first suit from the comics. Oh, are you talking like the original one with like the skin tight with the silver helmet, the one that you see a little bit in Civil War, the helmet?
I have not eaten grass.
I hope we get a roadmap. Me too. Soon.
What other games have you worked on?
Hoping next generation looks great. Already looking nice in PS5, running PS4. Hopefully that upgrade looks really good, man. I agree. Did you see Loki's design somewhere? Yeah, in the prequel comment. Yeah, JJ, I saw it.
And in this game.
This community is so toxic. I think we're all pretty nice in here, Bob. What's up, man?
Where?
We're all pretty chilling.
Shoot. Okay, someone got him.
Asgard would be a cool location. I agree, man. I agree. Maybe Asgard continue the Loki story in the game. I mean, that'd be a good idea, Aiden.
You know, say hey.
I think Spider-Man would be a permanent exclusive because Sony does own the rights to there's so many things to like talk about with regards to Spider-Man and the rights situation, Matthew. It's really interesting to like try and theorize or like talk about Spider-Man because like, you know, like there's so much there that like we don't know and we'd have to unpack to like try and figure out, right? Yo, Mob, chill, bro. Everyone's chill, man. We're chill, Mob. It's all good, bro. No one's toxic in here, dude. We're just hanging out. But in terms of the Spider-Man stuff, yeah, dude, there's so much there to try and unpack. I think he's permanent too. I know people think he's timed. I think he's permanent, man. The more I think about it, I think I agree that he's permanent exclusive.
Every time I was traveling with him.
All right, guys, I gotta take off here in a few minutes. I'm gonna wrap up here and answer some last questions for you guys. I'd just like to say thank you all for hanging out, though. Chilling for the last almost 2 hours, man. What's your favorite hero to play? And honest, the battle card takes too long, more effort, which easy to get skins, really make you buy skins. Captain America, and you know what? Considering the challenge cards don't wrap up, like they don't have an end date, I think it's okay. If they had an end date that you had to complete it by and it took this long, I'd say like, yeah, it's probably kind of bullshit. But considering there's not really like a fixed end for them, I'd say like, yeah, I mean, I get it. it's not the worst thing, but yeah, I mean, everything obviously could be better. Sure. You know what I mean? Yo, Najee, what's up? We need a Skrull story. Agreed. They're probably using Spider-Man's 2018 version of Spider-Man has exclusive. Well, didn't they say they're like their own take on Spider-Man? So like if they were to use like that Spider-Man, I would like agree, but it seems like they're just like doing their own thing with him, right? So I don't know. I think Sony probably could pay enough and be like between like the relationship with Sony and Marvel, and then like obviously like Crystal and Square kind of in the midst of that. I'd say like Sony could probably just pay enough to be like, yeah, like this character is only on our platform, and it wouldn't be out of like Sony's like history to do that, right? So, but I think it's up in the air, Ryan, for sure. And they should add Guardians of the Galaxy along with Scroll. I will say, man, there is some speculation that Guardians will show up when the game goes to Nowhere in the fall. If the Nowhere thing holds up and going to space with Captain Marvel's DLC, there is some speculation, and this is not based on anything other than like the game going to space and like the Guardians of the Galaxy game that's rumored. There is some speculation that the Guardians may show up eventually. If that actually happens, I don't know. But you know, if you want to make She-Hulk different than Hulk, have her be able to pick up cars and trucks, since Hulk can't do this except for the one tank at the beginning of the game intro. You know how many people would be mad though, Night? You know how many Hulk mains would be so mad at that? I think you just got to make both be able to pick them up, no? We need more Thor skins? Agreed. You're a great YouTuber, including the chat is really great. Hey, Aiden, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing these, guys. There's lots more coming when it comes to the live stream stuff. Doing a live stream every Friday for the dev stream. Doing a live stream when the Hawkeye deep dive comes out. I got more videos planned. I got a few announcements on the way. If you're an Avengers fan, you will follow. I know I've been doing some Realm stuff. It's whatever. If you're an Avengers guy, girl, whoever, if you follow for the Avengers stuff, I got some more stuff coming this month for you. So it's gonna be a fun month, guys. It's gonna be a fun month. X-Men anime features Ames, so you can brag a Wolverine in the future. I'm very iffy on the X-Men stuff. Hi, can you do a quick resume? Do you mean like cover everything that's been talked about? Yeah, I mean, I'll subscribe so I can watch. Aiden, I appreciate you, man. I saw a rumor a long time ago that Square, yeah, it's been rumored for the last few years, Matthew. It's been rumored for the last few years, man. I don't think it's real. It's real. It's real. It's a real rumor, man. But isn't Fall getting a TV show with Bugs and makes sense to do She-Hulk when they have any teasers show trailers to hers? I would agree with you, man, which is why I've said it's really weird that like some of the characters that are getting TV shows are like included and some aren't. I don't think like it seems like they operate a level away from Marvel games. And it seems like it's coincidence more than it is planning that some characters are getting things and others aren't. I subbed you? Yo, Najee, I appreciate that. All right, guys, so quick little wrap up here before I go. I got to go get my dinner. But once again, thank you guys for hanging out, obviously. So the dev stream today, they're just about to wrap up as well. But you guys are more than free to go over. And it's twitch.tv/Crystal Dynamics for the last few minutes. But very quickly, guys, so reiterating that Hawkeye's deep dive is coming the 16th. That is 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, 2 weeks. Hawkeye arrow teases the Pulsar arrows, Tripwire arrows, and now they've confirmed Boomerang arrows. Developer blog next week from Tor and Oscar. So the developer blog is going to be talking about the Wasteland with screenshots and more angles of it, really deep diving the biome that you should be expecting out of the Hawkeye DLC. They've said that a new Iron Man outfit is coming as early as next week and that he has a cape. I'm speculating that it's Infamous Iron Man if you guys are familiar with him from the comics. But this is dependent on a patch, so a patch could also be as early as next week, but it's not confirmed. They're looking at spicing up the weekly blogs, which you guys, if you guys have followed my stuff, you know I've been kind of kicking them to do. So it will be interesting to see what they do for that. Potential blog on the Omega level threat stuff that Phil has talked about him writing. It's possible. Question, does Clint have his classic skin? You know, Andy said, you know, wait and see. It's probably a confirmation. So right now it looks like we have confirmed Bald, which is the current Hawkeye, the old man Hawkeye Classic, the casual one, and probably a Ronin skin. I'm going to speculate and say a Ronin skin is probably coming to the game as well. Someone said it doesn't take 5 months to publish a roadmap, and they said it's coming to agreement on the content. It's basically an approval thing. It means they're kind of talking about trying to figure out what they're going to be including in the roadmap. Any new vaults? They said not sure right now, and it's nothing in the short term. They did say that there's exciting stuff coming to the harm room in the near future. They said rejoining sessions is something we'd like to do. Don't know where the feature is at though currently. They've talked about that more missions are coming and more types of them. No clarification added. That on the next gen stuff, it's pretty much going to be they just give you the dialogue and move on. It seems like the elevator scenes are probably going to get cut for next gen loading. They said Cap Shield could be different with the costumes, but unsure where that's at. Phil did say he would love to have an online hub. They're looking into it. They're looking into some crazy places to go. That's probably the nowhere stuff that I talked about today. Helmet on and off. They don't know if that's going to happen. And when it comes to Omega level threat content with all the content releases, they said they can't make that prediction. So, question, when will your next stream be? Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be playing the game. People shouldn't be attacked for having their own opinions in this community. No one's attacking you, Mom. Chill, bro. Chill. Think there should be an option to remove bots? I agree, man. I agree. Anyways, guys, I got to take off. I'll be back Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be playing the game on PlayStation. If you get any of you guys are PlayStation players, you want to come hang out and come play, I'll see you guys Monday night. I was attacked. Mob, I've been watching the chat, bro. You're good, bro. You're good. I promise, Mob. You're good, bro. Anyways, guys, when is next time coming out, bro? Really quick, Huncho. We'll find out on the 16th, man. We'll find out on the 16th. But I'm speculating Hawkeye and next gen on the 23rd, man. Not by you though, Mob. It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Yo, thank you guys for hanging out, man. Anyways, guys, I got to go run, get my dinner. I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys Monday. Love your channel. Appreciate it, man. All right, guys. Adios, amigos. Later.